My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4066. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. Watch out today, a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday.
Awesome.
The return of Ted versus the FCC. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack.
All right, here we go. Police pull over a stolen BMW X5 and find an 11-year-old behind the wheel. Maybe strange, but thousands of dollars in calculators thieves did steal. Dog who spent months with a box on his head finds a new home. Because of sand, an apocalypse Tesla Cybertruck can no longer roam. And a woman goes to Miami to get a butt lift from a doctor not allowed to operate. You can guess the rest. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours on this Positive Friday. Now, you may have heard, but earlier this week, a vaping supply warehouse outside of Detroit pretty much exploded. It was a massive explosion, but believe it or not, there was only one fatality. But here's the rub. The guy that died, he was a quarter of a mile away. A canister of some kind of it launched like a missile and hit him in the head. So both literally and figuratively, he did not see that coming. But who would? You know, as humans, if we sense danger, we try as best we can to take precautions. For example, you go to the zoo, you know the animals are in enclosures, but still, you try not to provoke them. Well, we shouldn't anyway. Years ago at a zoo in Holland, some kids threw rocks at Boquito. Who's Boquito? Glad you asked. Boquito is a gorilla. Specifically, a gorilla that doesn't appreciate having rocks thrown at him. So what did he do? Well, he jumped an 11.5-foot moat, crossed a 7,000-volt electric fence, and then laid a beat down on a woman who was not throwing rocks. Meanwhile, at the San Antonio Zoo, 7 people were injured when, you guessed it, a large tree branch broke off of the tree and landed on them. Surprise. You just can't predict what's going to mess you up. A motorcyclist in Iowa. He was injured after being hit by a flying tire on the highway. And we told you late last year about the pregnant woman in Rome who was injured when she was walking down the street and a Rottweiler. Did it bite her? No. Did it attack her? No. The Rottweiler fell out of a third-story window and landed on top of her. These are not things that any reasonable person can be expected to be prepared for. And some of you, well, you seem reasonable, but you're still not prepared for that thing that messed you up. And that's what today's question is. We want to know, what was the item or object that did the damage to your person?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, especially if you get it with a small coffee or soft drink for just $5. Get to Wendy's for a Cinnabon Pull-Apart today.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPT, LLC.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but y'all, away we go. Welcome to Season 19, episode number 4066. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. What a late night Steve and I had last night coming up with tongue twisters from Ted. Then we remembered that you missed the last time, and we try to give you a couple more opportunities to get that one right. So we're going to go with our old listener submitted Ted versus the FCC. You should have brought that up. We already had one in the can.
I wasn't thinking last night because all the drugs, man.
Yeah, it was a good night, though, either way. So Ted versus the FCC on the way. Also, what else do we have for you? A brand new beer from Black Raven Brewing Company. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've had a chance to try Men's Room IPA. Tasty and delicious. Maybe one of the most drinkable IPAs I've ever had in my life. It is fantastic stuff. We're going to have a launch party 1 week from today at Black Raven Brewery and Tap House in lovely Woodinville, Washington.
Yes, indeed.
From 2 to 6, we're going to do the show live. Stop by. It's a beautiful facility. Get yourself a Men's Room IPA if you haven't tried one. I believe some T-shirts will be available there for sale.
That was my understanding. For Mr. Castle, apparently they put in a big, massive order at the brewery for T-shirts, knowing that next week is coming.
Well, be a part of the party, be a part of the live show, taste the beer, enjoy all of the Black Raven brews that are out there. They got a number of good ones. Ours is just one of a myriad of all the good beers. They do an unbelievable job. So hopefully you'll see you 1 week from today as we do our show live from 2 until 6 at Black Raven Brewing.
Speaking of which, somebody here says, found the beer at Albertsons in East Redmond, just off the 202 to Carnation/Fall City. They still have a few 6-packs left in stock.
It is our launch party and the first stop on the Men's Room World Tour for 2024. So hopefully you'll have a chance to stop by next week and see us for the live show. Oh, what else do we have for you today? Speaking of drinking, we will drink and toast to the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Shame on. on?
So today on Bad Choice Friday, we celebrate daylight saving time. It starts this weekend, yes. We get a little bit of extra hour of daylight. I know it's going to be darker in the morning, but when we leave work for a change for the first time in what seems like the dark months ahead, we'll finally get some daylight when we get out of here.
I just like going home in the sunshine, man.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better.
I know. I just hate the morning darkness, though.
I don't like morning darkness, but because I'm not a morning person, it kind of doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? I take that back. If I wake up and the sky's blue and the sun's out, even if it's 7 a.m., like I am out of bed, man.
So we're going to spring forward. Obviously, that's the way that daylight saving time works. They say it's happening on Saturday night and Sunday morning. We change our clocks. We do lose an hour of sleep. But they do give you some tips on...
sleep in another hour. It's a Sunday.
Yes, exactly. Some other things...
Then you're going to be 2 hours over.
Wait a minute, but...
Because they go forward. So let's say it's Sunday. I'm going to sleep till 10 a.m.
All right.
But it's actually 11.
Yeah, you're right. Then you lose an hour of your day.
Exactly.
There's no win. There's no win in that.
By the way, the professionals out there says there's 4 other things you should do this weekend. Every time this comes around, 4 things you put on your calendar. Any idea what they are?
One of them I've heard, change the batteries and like your smoke detectors and stuff. They say just do it on this day so that you remember to do it.
Change the batteries on your smoke alarm. Good idea to change the batteries once a year. So when you spring forward, just remember that's the time of the year that you do it.
Change your air filters in your HVAC system?
If you have one, sure. Anything that you need, anything that you can do inside on an annual basis where the weather doesn't affect you, absolutely. They say restock if you have one, an emergency kit. If you already have one, go through it to make sure that nothing is expired. If you don't, put one together this weekend.
What is in an emergency kit? Just off the top of your head, we say, guys, we have an emergency kit. And I go, okay.
Well, I'm going to have a laser pointer in case of a line.
Got to be like flashlight, batteries, dehydrated food.
Are you good? I'm good on the flashlights and all that kind of thing. I know where they are. They do work.
Okay, I think I got one.
And I'm old enough for us to. We have like 6 of them, and they are strategically located throughout the house. So no matter where we are, when and if the power goes out, you're within 10 feet of one. And I do check the batteries. I got my old man thing going with that.
Look at your fire extinguisher. Look at other things in your house.
I should probably get one of those.
That could help you in the event of an emergency, depending on...
I'm not kidding, man. I think this might be the first house I've been in where we don't have one. And then the
wife stick it under the sink.
We'll say, I know. And we say, like, let's just go to Home Depot and get one. We go, yeah, we should do that. And then we forget.
Do you know where mine is? It's in the corner of my garage, in the farthest place from anywhere that could ever do any damage.
That's a great place.
I run as far as I can to get that damn thing in.
You have to go downstairs.
I've never pulled the pin on one, so I'm not even sure if I know how to use it correctly, but I figure it out.
Bro, just pull the pin. It kind of does the rest.
Just go. Okay. I've
only used one once for legitimate purposes, I should say, but one of the restaurants I was working at burst into flames. We all ran around, grabbed a fire extinguisher, and we did not think the building would burn down. It's not that, but we needed to get it out. But I got to tell you, it's kind of cool, man.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool thing.
I mean, I used one on my car back in the day.
That's right.
And then when I worked a basketball camp at Frostburg State University, they had the old school ones that had water in them.
Yeah.
So we used to, the coaches, if you left I can't remember what they called the room, the hospitality room, which just meant cold cuts and beers.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'd take that one and stick it under people's doors and just hit them with water.
They say clean out your fridge, your pantry, medicine cabinet, toss anything that's expired or you're no longer using, or use up anything that's expiring soon. And finally, they say flip your mattress. Some mattresses should be flipped once or twice a year to avoid irregular wear, and it's easy to remember if you do it the same weekend when you change your clock. So there you go. So we have a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday. You might be wondering, what are your picks? Oh, lucky you. One of them is Coldplay. Ted, are you pro Coldplay?
Pro
Coldplay.
I told Mike, I'll defend him. I like Coldplay.
Have you seen them live?
I have not, but at this point, I'd go see them live.
Steve has seen them 3 times.
So I've seen them once. My wife and I enjoy Coldplay. She goes, you want to go? I say, hell yeah, let's go. It's back when it was still Key Arena. The music is good, man. I cannot explain it. It is the dullest concert I have ever been to in my life. Mm-hmm. And they played all the stuff you know.
All the hits.
You know what I mean? Guys got a great voice. They're doing their thing. And I'm like, this is so freaking boring.
Yeah, they don't go up-tempo.
No, not at one point.
Nah, you're going to feel the concert.
Yeah,
Coldplay and the song known as Clocks taking on Bill Haley.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. But sadly,
We wouldn't have the jobs that we have right now if it wasn't for Bill Haley and the Comets.
There you go. The original devil music.
That was the beginning of rock and roll.
This is the beginning of devil music.
This is it, man.
Can't you hear it?
It was Sabbath and Bill Haley and the Comets. He just got there first.
Yeah.
Sabbath and
Bill Haley.
Oh, yeah. Beginning of rock and roll right there. Coldplay and Clocks taking on Bill Haley and Rock Around the Clock. Vote now if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. One of those two tunes coming up right after we drink and toast with the shot of the day. Okay, our question today, what was the item or object that did the damage to your person? Look, we've talked many times about the things on this show where people get injured and the items. Look, you can fall and hit your head. That's on you. But,
sure.
But you might have tripped over blank. Or,
right. A dead gopher.
You know, we often talk about, please, whatever you do, don't buy a mandolin.
Yes.
For your kitchen. That thing will kill you. Robin, what was her object or thing that messed her up? It's a jar of pickles.
They should have go to the hospital.
He completely sliced open the inside of her hand and her thumb and everything else. That was the object that did the damage to her person. So the idea being, if it hit you, if it just messed you up, that's what we're talking about today is the object specifically. Now, this is a crazy story. A vaping supply distributor went up in flames in suburban Detroit this past Monday. They are suspected of illegally storing highly flammable materials, including canisters of butane, which likely contributed to explosions and debris. They had all types of different things in there. Basically, canisters went up like a missile and became shrapnel. Lithium batteries, switchblades, and knives all through the air when this warehouse distributor exploded.
It's a vape warehouse, but they also had switchblades and knives.
They are more, so this guy is the guy that supplies all of the stores that he,
like the corner shops you can buy brass knuckles.
Like the smoke shops, right?
Okay.
They have
Right.
vapes, they have all that stuff, they have bongs.
Right.
But you're right. They always have a lot of those butane containers for people doing dabs. Mm-hmm. And then they'll also have other containers of gas.
So what he did was he operated out of the warehouse as his distributor. But if you went to the back door, he had a counter set up for customers who were just on foot, who are walking by and want to go in. And so he had a little boutique shop in there, which I also believe was illegal.
Right.
But he did that for the community because he was distributing more out to the outskirts of Detroit.
Vapes for the community.
Yeah. They were illegal to have in the building, according to the Clinton Township Supervisor of Business. He said the smoke and vape shop could have kept a certain quantity of canisters, but it was well above the allowable limit. In the statement, the township said the shop, located in a former supermarket, was holding nitrous oxide, lighter fluid, and vape pens, in addition to the butane. It said canisters and containers were 12 to 18 inches in size and weighed 10 to 15 pounds. Duncan also said that more than 100,000 vape pens were on site as well. By the way, employees were inside the place is called the Goo Factory. It's Goo LLC is the name of his business.
Goo LLC. All right.
They were in the Goo Factory fulfilling online orders. So they also do that when the fire broke out. A cause is yet to be determined as the gutted building was still smoldering. Firefighters had trouble accessing the building due to the hundreds, if not thousands, of continual explosions. So what happens when stuff starts blowing up in the neighborhood? Well, neighbors go out to see what the hell's going on. And one man did. A 19-year-old man was watching the fire from a distance when he was struck in the head by a canister and died. He was a quarter mile away from the factory.
Thinking he is
mile.
a safe distance to watch this.
Knives, switchblades, and other things were found up to 2 miles away when this warehouse exploded. So he was hit with a canister, and it killed him.
19 years old, man.
And he's a quarter of a mile from where that place is, which isn't just absolutely insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And most of them also have like nitrous tanks, the butane. Like there's a lot of flammable stuff.
Mm-hmm. 7 people injured after a large tree branch broke and fell on guests at the San Antonio Zoo. The branch fell unexpectedly, which caused zoo first responders, as well as local emergency crews on site, to treat the injured within minutes, which was a good thing. The CEO of the San Antonio Zoo, Tim Morrow, said that we're working with our internal and external teams to investigate the cause of the breakage to prevent the unusual
Gravity.
event from happening again. It was also really windy. There was a storm that was starting to move through.
Well, like, you got to be thorough. This are in Seattle. It's like, well, we knew about the branch. We just don't want you to do anything.
No, that's a
about
tree.
it. Yeah.
You can't cut it down.
Don't touch it.
Our gratitude is with the guest staff and first responders who assisted during the incident, and our sincerest thoughts and prayers go to those injured and their families, as well as the people who happened to witness the accident. They confirmed that the guests were given medical assistance at the zoo, then taken to the hospital. One guest was hospitalized with injuries, while the other 6 others were taken as a precaution. They were unable to provide details of the injured or the status of the patient. But we have a lot of stories in this area where, unfortunately, one of these giant trees does fall.
Because they won't let you take them down.
It lands on someone's car or whatever the deal is. So
or through the yard, or through someone's roof, or damn near kills.
Could have happened to your neighbor.
3 different people. I know, man. This is what you try to tell them. And I don't know what it is here. City council just doesn't get it. But what really, the thing my daughter brought up to me, she's like, well, why wouldn't they let us take down the tree? That's not because they're stupid. I mean, they give a bunch of reasons, but just to put it in layman's terms, they're effing idiots. She goes, well, but when they did the light rail, they took down like 200 that are located maybe 30 feet away from this tree. So they will take down hundreds of trees that are perfectly healthy, none of them leaning. But the one that is falling over, like you would say, the fentanyl abusing drug addict on 3rd Avenue who's somehow won't fall over in spite of being asleep while they stand up.
But
that
eventually he's going to fall.
That one's protected.
Eventually he's going to fall.
Yes, he is.
He can't lean that long.
We
forever.
know he will, because gravity's just a thing, whether they want to accept that or not.
Yeah.
I was saying Capitol Hill, man, there was a guy outside my place. Hey, it had to be 3 hours.
Just dead asleep,
leaning over?
Just leaning over.
Yeah.
But still standing, right?
Yes.
It's almost like it should be like a
Did you
circus
like just
attraction.
start watching? Because at some point you get fascinated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm keeping more like time-elapse camera.
I mean, there's
It should be-
sometimes, like, one time I remember it was like summertime or so. A storm came out of nowhere and it was dumping rain. So I had my blinds closed, and I opened them and opened my slider, and there was just a guy standing there. Like, knock on the door, like, and then he's just standing there with the door, like, get the F out of here.
Right.
And he's like, well, it's raining. I said, I don't care.
Right.
And then, then he was like, the bushes are talking to me. I was like, leave.
Oh,
Yeah, you go around the back and hide underneath. But that guy, the one day, the dude, I don't know what he was on, but I mean, it had to be like 3 hours. And I even, you know me, I went out there and was like, are you okay? I mean, he could, nothing. Just, and then, I don't know, finally he just left.
You could take bets on it.
Without falling.
You know what I mean? Like,
falling.
they could do that. Like, you stand there, and then everyone puts a bet down as far as how long it's going to take before
You fall over, yeah.
And then if you win the pot. So whatever you throw in is like $20 in.
We call it 3rd Avenue bingo.
You get a 5-minute window. And if you hit the 5-minute window, you get the pot. You can take it all.
It happens.
My money says no one's getting any money. He stays up the entire time. He's never falling.
Yeah. I've seen it at many a tailgate, too.
Yeah, it's a different kind of wobble, but
The sideways walk away.
Yeah.
What?
you walk like a crab.
Yeah. What was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, and quite another navigating the world of negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. Guidance from an agent who's a Realtor can make all the difference, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries, and in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's sweet potato fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
Shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles Miles and Thrill.
My question, what was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
Hey, boy, I'd really like to try that new IPA you got out, but I'm the 5DWI guy, so that's not going to happen.
No. Yep.
All right, look, it's good. It's not that good. No. Don't break your sobriety over it. I don't think anything's that good.
No.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm 59 now. So when I was 20, my brother Todd Chisholm, he landed a job over in Spokane Fire Department. All of my buddies and our girlfriends were heading over there to visit him from Everett here. So my buddy's driving my car, and we run out of gas 50 miles out of Ritzville in the middle of nowhere. And so the girlfriends finally figured out. They came back and went and got us gas, and the gas station only had a 1 gallon can, so we only had 1 gallon. And the girls decided to take off in the middle of the night. And so the license plate is where the gas cap was in the back. So I'm pouring the gas. We can't see anything. So I'm pouring the gas in the gas can in the tank, and I didn't know, but there was some gas going down the bumper a little bit. My buddy Bill, the bright idea he had was to light a lighter so we can see better. Okay, well the gas can the fumes exploded, and I got a brand new pair of Reeboks, man. I grew up with Kmart shoes, okay? So now I got a job, and they're so comfortable, and I got my socks on, and that gas landed on the ground, and it caught me on fire. It melted my socks to my left leg, and I'm running down the freeway like a crazy you-know-what. And there's this trucker. I remember seeing him. There's this trucker going the opposite direction. In the middle of the night, some dude running down the freeway on fire. What in the hell? And so he honks his horn. And, you can't tuck and roll because, it's gasoline, man. And so I finally get it out, and I am burnt bad. And so I get rushed to the hospital. It's in the middle of summer. And so,
how long did it take for an ambulance to get there? Or do you think the trucker, because like you said, you're in the middle of nowhere, do you think the trucker said, hey, man, there's a dude on fire?
Yeah, there's no cell phones back then. So, yeah, so he must have radioed in, and I don't know, it must have been 20 minutes. I don't know, man. I was in a bad way. So he rushed me into the hospital. They got me all doctored up. And like I said, it was middle of summertime, and we finally get to Spokane, and everybody's swimming in the river and drinking beer, and I'm sitting up on this big boulder, just son of a you mother.
How bad? What degree of burns did you get?
It went to the bone. It was the worst, 3rd degree. Yeah. Like I said, it melted my sock to my ankle, and the worst part about it is, guys, after I got home and after I'm all bandaged up, after I stood up, the blood rushed down there, and it was the most blood-curdling pain. I mean, childbirth got nothing on this. I mean,
do you still have scars from that?
No.
How long did your feet look gnarly?
Oh, I was out of work for 6 weeks.
It's amazing the car didn't catch on fire.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be my first concern. Get in the car, pull this thing away from this, the pump as fast as you can.
He was on fire. We got to cut him slack, man.
He's just taking off running down the highway with his pants on fire. I'm jumping in the car real quick and moving it away.
Like I
thought you were getting on wrong.
I can't catch him.
Yeah, my buddies was with me, and I'm sleeping in the back seat. And Big George, I didn't look at the gas gauge, man.
I was going to ask, man, because typically before you go in these, the first thing you do, right, is look at the gas gauge.
Yeah, 50 miles out of nowhere, man.
So even if you got the gallon in successfully, how far would the car? I mean, I'm sorry you caught on fire, but even if you done it successfully,
the girls walked to get gas, so obviously you have enough gas to get to where the gas station is.
The girls took off. Our girlfriends took off. Oh, they got gas.
They drove to get gas.
They drove to get gas.
They were in a different car. Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's different then. I thought you guys were all...
I was hot enough that you know what, man.
Ron, I'm going to ask you a very important question. How long before you got to replace your Reeboks?
Excuse me?
How long before you got to replace your Reeboks?
Oh, I make a pretty good living, so as soon as I got back to work, I got another pair.
Oh, so you sold drugs.
I understand.
What kind of Reeboks?
I'm a union sheet metal worker, so there you go.
All right.
What kind of Reebok? Like, how long ago was this?
This said, what, 39 years ago?
High top with a pump in it, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Who got pumps?
I remember those. Yeah, that was important stuff, bro. Especially like you said, you grow up on the Kmart shoes, you can finally get your own pair of tennis shoes, and those were badass back then.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to think with the pump, that may have helped, the flames stay alive.
You see guys doing it like in the locker.
Iverson was big with
stuff.
Reebok, too.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a pair. I had a pair of the questions and a pair of the answers.
Those are the names of the shoes.
What was the difference? By looking at them, what would be the difference?
I think I can't remember which one was which,
Right.
but one of them was more kind of a standard looking high top.
Okay.
And had like little bubbles on it. And then the cool one, I think that was the answer, the black one, was kind of sleeker looking. Like everybody, because we were a Reebok, DeMatha was the basketball program was Reebok.
All right.
So I mean, we got a ton of free pairs of them. So everybody liked to play in the answers, with the questions were kind of like, those were like the practice shoe, this and that. But the answers also, there was a few blowouts. So then by the end of the year, everybody was into questions.
What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
It's the ladder. A ladder got me.
A ladder?
I used to work for a fireplace company, and I was installing a fireplace, a stove. Nice house, all finished, vaulted ceiling, so we had to bring in the extension ladder from the truck and set it up inside to stack the chimney on it. Get up there, we had our non-slip pads and everything underneath the ladder, and I'd get up next to the chimney at the very top of the roof or the ceiling, and I tell my partner, standing at the bottom of the ladder, like, take a step back, give a little shift on the ladder. Okay, we're good. Now bring me that last piece of pipe I need. So he brings me up the last piece of stovepipe, hands it to me, and the ladder slides out from underneath me. I fell 22 feet.
Oh, what did you land on?
The ladder, a wood stove, and a hearth.
Ooh.
How bad was that?
It sucked because the whole time I was going down, I was like, man, this is going to suck.
So it was slow motion.
Yeah, big time. And I couldn't do anything because the ladder's going. If I would have tried to jump, it would have went worse.
Was your partner on the ladder as well?
No, there was a balcony thing next to me. That's how he could hand me the last piece of pipe. Right. He was on his way back down.
So do you think the no-slip pads, should say no slip, but just with a question mark on
it? Yeah, pretty much. Because I've been doing it for 4 years around at the time and, never had a problem with it. And then the one time I tell my partner to move, to do something for me, it goes, and it was bad. I had bruised ribs and, it smashed my finger between the ladder and the hearth when I hit the floor. My fingers all smashed up and bruised, and yeah, it was a rough couple of days.
Considering what happened, that is not the worst injury sheet. I mean, you're lucky you didn't, break a major bone or break your back or, knock yourself out.
I didn't hit my head on the wood stove as I was coming down too, man. That would have been worse.
I mean, look,
there's a lot of unlucky stuff with this story too, but you are right.
You can accidentally trip into a wood stove.
I know,
and mess yourself up. Look, man, I had a buddy do it, and his hand, he went to brace himself, and it's burning.
Right.
So when he put his hand on the top, man, it basically stuck there. He had to peel his freaking hand off and lost all the skin on the top.
But if he hadn't, he'd have gone probably face first into it, right?
He did hit his shoulder and stuff. He did get burned in other places.
Yeah, but I'm saying, man, between my face and my hand, sorry, hand, you're taking the brunt of this.
Right. Well, he brought too much wood in. You know what I mean? He had one of those carriers, and it was like, the one with the two handles on the side, and apparently he just kind of tripped with the damn thing.
That'll do it.
The thing is that every time you go over to his house, the print's still there.
Oh.
Well, it was. I mean,
how long did it last?
It never cleared up.
Oh, really?
I mean, his mom tried to wash it, apparently. It never, his hand, the imprint of his hand, probably like the bird out.
Oh, yeah, they hit the building.
Yeah. Wood stoves are great, but
But
there's danger. Yeah,
there absolutely is.
What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Zach. Welcome to the men's room.
Boo, bitches.
Boo!
So, several years ago, I had a car I was getting rid of. The engine had blown, so I was scrapping it. I had a newer battery and other stuff, so I was getting off of it. So after I pulled the battery out, I don't know, I was just messing around, and I thought it'd be fun to try to break the side view mirror off with the battery as I was walking past the car for some reason. It didn't break. It bounced the battery back at me faster than I threw it into it and straight into my voice. And the sack swelled up like instantly. And I ran inside and started checking everything out, making sure like no, crazy stuff happened. I think I got really lucky and it hit in between the two berries.
Sure.
So nothing crazy happened.
I think the pain is worse, but the damage is less.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And it swelled up for like a month. I ended up calling like the nurse hotline on like your insurance card and like asking them, hey, do I need to go get this checked out? And she's like, well, if you haven't peed blood or any of this or that, like you're probably fine. Yeah.
But it still took a month for the swelling to go down.
A month.
How many days did you wait before you called the nurse's hotline?
Oh man, it was probably like day 5 when I was like, it didn't go. It was still black and blue, and the swelling hadn't gone down. It was just.
Were you still working, and were you able to do day-to-day stuff, or were you kind of bedridden?
No, I was bedridden. I'd called into work for a week, and then after that, I told my boss what happened, and he kind of gave me like a light duty stuff until it healed up.
What would be light duty stuff? You're going in there with swollen testicles, you're still in pain. I mean, honestly, it's like
move that 5-gallon bucket,
right?
Basically that. It's basically I didn't have to lift any of the heavy stuff. If there was anything heavy that I had to lift to do my job, that I was able to call someone else over who was working with me and have them help me out.
Were your coworkers sympathetic to this?
Not in the least bit. They thought I was biggest dumbass.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute, man. Now my workload is more because you threw a battery into a window and it smashed into your testicles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
It's kind of amazing to bounce that far back.
I think we're all shocked, but to me, that's also a lesson learned. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like, because we're dudes, and somehow if I'm in that situation, I think like, dude, let's just take this dead battery, smash it.
Yeah.
Now I would think, don't do that. I just heard a horror story.
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense. There's rubber around it, but I'm with you. I mean, it's fun to break stuff.
It really is.
Like, you're not supposed to break the fluorescent bulbs, right?
I know. It's almost worse that they told us that.
But it's hard, right? Like, when I was a janitor, I was like, I'm smashing this thing.
Every single time. Here's the text that came. It just reminds me of something with my cousin. It says, I was hit in the eye. Or is it? Yeah, I was hit in the eye with a small, hard slingshot pumpkin at a pumpkin patch. Instead of launching, it flung back, fractured his orbital, ended up going to the emergency room. So when I'm 9 years old, my cousin's 4. My cousin was a little douchebag. And I don't know where he found this thing. It wasn't a rubber band. It's like this thick elastic strap, right? So I walk into his bedroom.
Was it one of those big black straps like they used to make on the wooden guns? Do you remember the rubber band
It
guns?
would be like that, but it was rubber band color.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he has this thing stretched back, and his I'm sure he's right-handed, so his left hand over his shoulder, right arm completely stretched out. He pulls it back, and he has this thing aimed at my face. So I hedged my bets because he was stupid, and I said, oh, hey, man, if you're going to do that, you got to remember, let go from the front. So he did and snapped himself in the face, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing. Anyway, he runs out, and he tells his mom, my mom. I ended up getting in trouble for this, and I'm like, listen, man, look, I'm 9 years old, but I'm going to tell you right now, and this has stayed pretty much true up until the moment I had kids. I am not going to take the pain from someone else if I can direct it back at them, right? Mm-hmm. He wanted to hit me in the face with this thing. Based on the reaction he had, the bloody nose and all the tears and the fact that he's so angry, that's what would have happened to me. That's not something I want to do, and I didn't tell him to do it. I just told him to let go of the front if he was going to do it, and then he did. Anyway, I got in trouble, but I'm like, I thought that was brilliant.
What was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Gage. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, boys. How's it going?
Hola.
Positive Friday.
So a couple years ago, I was hanging out with my buddy in the backyard, and we were a couple bottles of tequila deep, hanging out, having a good time, about 2 a.m. And we were having a little fire in our fire pit, and I was chopping wood, like kindling with a machete that we had, sticking the machete in the ground next to the big chunk of wood that I was cutting wood on. And I was talking to my buddy, and he said something funny. I ended up laughing and walking backwards. I was barefoot. And the machete, the back of it, had like a serrated edge on it. And I ended up stepping on it, and it slid and just cut my foot wide open.
Ooh. On the bottom?
So, yeah, the bottom, right on the arch there.
Oh, man.
How deep was the cut?
Well, it was bad, man. I ended up hitting a minor artery in my foot.
Jesus.
So I had a bath towel wrapped around it, holding it, and by the time the ambulance had got there, because we were 2 sheets to the wind, nobody could drive, you know. So finally, once the ambulance got there, it had bled through the towel, and I just remember when the EMT took the towel off, it ended up spraying blood on the chest out of that artery.
Jesus.
And he took his thumb and had to shove it in my foot and pinch the artery closed.
Oof. What did that feel like?
Ooh.
Honestly, I don't remember a whole lot besides
Good.
stepping on the machete, and I just remember the feeling of like grabbing my foot and having my finger damn near disappear into the cut. You know what I mean?
Man,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Well, you probably, by the time the ambulance got there, you probably had lost enough blood where your head is light enough you don't remember anything either.
Right. They ended up giving me fentanyl or whatever on the trip to the ER, which I was real worried about. But, yeah, once I got there, they ended up doing, I think it was 33 stitches in total. There was 15 dissolving stitches on the inside and 18 on the outside.
And that includes stitching the artery itself?
Yeah, they had to stitch that back together, too.
Now, Gage, do they tell you they're giving you fentanyl, or do they ask you? Because sometimes, sir, we have this and this, or were you in bad enough shape? They're just like, we're giving you fentanyl, bro.
Yeah, so he asked me, he was like, hey, so I'm going to go ahead and give you this. And I was like, whoa, buddy, you know what I mean? I've heard enough about that. You know, he's like, no, I'm just giving you a real microdose or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, man, you know, it's better than nothing at this point. You know?
Well, and it's designed to be used by doctors or medical professionals for pain.
Exactly.
Now, my only question is, when they gave it to you, did you stand up in the ambulance and bend over and lean down and look like you're going to fall over, but you didn't, even though your foot was cut wide open?
No, man, no. But
Okay.
I remember
I bet you could
the
have.
part that hurt worst about it was the tourniquet that they had on my foot, man.
Oh, yeah.
That was horrible.
Okay. Man, oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't remember most of the pain. That is a good thing.
What was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
I can't get him to sit back down. He's completely sedated.
He's leaning over. We took a turn at 45 miles an hour. Didn't even budge. Didn't even hold on to anything.
Right, like I've had some stuff done, and it's like if they give you a pain pill for a couple days.
Yeah.
But it just got so crazy when they were giving them out. People because I remember having surgeries, and like when you actually take a Percocet because you need it, you don't feel high. You just don't feel pain.
Right. That is exactly.
But then when it's like 3 or 4 days later, you're just like, I like this feeling.
Well, you don't even realize it when you're on it, like you said, because it does that. Then at 3 o'clock in the morning, when it wears off, and you realize how much pain you have. Then you need about an hour to reset because you're just like, oh my god. What was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked. High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so coming up, we will drink, we will toast to the weekend, then it's Bad Choice Friday.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault. Jam on.
And you know, we do a Saturday night and a Sunday morning, we do the clock thing. So a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday with Coldplay.
Is anybody going to play this at 2 a.m. on Saturday night?
If they're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
You might think this song sucks, but he had to have sex with Gwyneth Paltrow, so give the guy a break. Coldplay and clocks taking on Bill Haley in the comments.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. But it's glad right so.
Here's the beginning of rock and roll right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some happy days back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
People get all upset, you know, when the women would shake it. Oh, people lost their mind, you know, gyrating.
They're spinning, their skirts are flying out.
Coldplay and clocks taking on Bill Haley in the comments and rock around the clock on a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday. Vote now if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live.
You know, Mike nailed it earlier in the office. We're talking about the song. It's the beginning of rock and roll. And at this time, we never chill that young kids dancing to this. You know, all the adults get upset and say it was sexually suggestive. And Mike said, when you're a man and you're that age, everything you do is sexually suggestive. You could be sharpening a pencil, delivering the mail, licking a stamp. If you were awake, you were somehow being sexually suggestive. That's what happens.
Our question, what was the item or the object that did damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ronnie. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, guys. Man, I'm speaking for all my construction buddies out there, especially the ones out there at the Microsoft project. We love listening to you guys on the way home. Some guys
appreciate it.
2, 3 hours, and, man, you make our commutes awesome. We love talking about you the next day.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, brother. I know a lot of people talk about me the next day, but generally less positive.
Did you see what he did?
Yeah. Hey, so it's 1991, right? I'm building a 2-story house with a bunch of construction buddies, and we're putting the sheets on the roof, right? And there's one sheet to remaining, and I grab a sheet, I throw it in the hole, and I forgot to put a nail in it. So I went to grab a saw, and I come back to it, and I step on the sheet, and whoop, right through the roof.
Oh, no way. All right. Now, was there drywall in the ceiling of the house yet? Probably not.
Nope. No, sir. It was just rough framing.
So you went through the 2x4s to the framing of
the trap door. I just the sheet came out from under me, and I fell through the roof from the peak of the house all the way at the top. So as I'm falling through the air, I poked my arm through the trusses to kind of try to grab a hold of something on the way down. But waiting for me at the bottom of the web of the truss was 2 3.5-inch by 3.5-inch razor blade sharp knives that is the gusset that holds the truss together.
Oh,
and it
God.
stabbed me into my arm and hung me up in the air and suspended me like a side of beef.
Oh, my God.
How long? So all of your body weight is being held up basically by these two blades.
The weight of my body falling through the air literally bent the blades over flat and pinched my flesh onto the side of the truss so that I couldn't move. I was hanging by the inside of my elbow, all the meat. And I had to, my boss was below me, 20-something feet below me, and he said, "Ron, what are you doing?" And I grabbed with my right hand.
Thank you, Arnold. Are you hanging out?
Just chilling, bro. No, I ripped my left arm out and left my flesh there. I went back later and looked at it. It looked like somebody had taken a piece of chicken, stuffed it in there, and beat it flat with a hammer. It was gnarly. So I hand over hand across the trusses to a wall, and I climbed down a wall, and I look at it, and it looked like somebody had lit off an M80 underneath the skin of my arm. It just was like exploded. I could see the bone and like the ligaments.
Okay, how many stories was the house?
It was only 2 stories.
Okay,
But
so
it
you
was
don't have to be clipped in or anything when you're on a roof that high. You can just kind of walk around and do your thing.
This is 1991, brother. We didn't do that.
All right, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just
now,
wondering.
You absolutely, you wear your harness, you tie off. No, it's
They call it the Ronnie Law.
now.
So did you end up going to the hospital?
I did 20 miles in this guy's Camaro. I wrapped my shirt around it, and it wasn't just dripping. I had a steady stream of blood dripping down on this dude's floor mat, and he took me to the hospital, and the most beautiful bunch of nurses and doctor were waiting for me, and they numbed me up, cleaned me up, sewed me up, and 85 stitches later with 15, exactly the same amount as the last dude, 15 dissolved on the inside, they sewed me up, and then they said, well, you can go, but first you have to take a piss test. And I said, well, I don't know if I can pee yet, but can I call for a ride? And I said, sure. They said, sure. So I called my mom. I said, hey, Mom, I need you to come pick me up, and I need you to bring me some pee.
You told your mother this.
Yeah. So she bought me some pee, and I put it poured it in the cup, and I got away with it.
Shit, Ronnie. All right.
Well, you peed clean, but you're pregnant.
That's why you're still Ronnie and not Ron.
Yeah, that's right for Ronnie.
Ron would never do that. That's Ronnie all the way.
No, sir.
Now, let me just ask you this, Ronnie. When you say, hey, Mom, I need you to bring me some clean pee, what is her response to this?
What?
Well, she brought it.
But she did bring it.
Oh, yes, sir, she did, but she didn't bring me enough. But you know how you pour it in the cup, and it's got the little black line with the temperature thing?
Yeah.
It didn't make it up to it. But like, they were like, oh, well, because I gave her the puppy dog eyes, she's like, you're not going to have to do it again. I was like, I don't think I can. And she said, oh, well, that'll be good enough. And she said, you can go home. So I got away with it.
Okay. That's my favorite part of this whole story. I got to be honest with you. Mom, I need you to pick me up from the hospital and bring me some pee.
Yeah, I'll do it standing up.
I did it for a guy once.
I feel like it's but a friend, right?
How old were you?
Not really. It's just Burris and I, our roommate Sut Dog had moved out. So then we got another roommate, and her boyfriend would show up. And, like, his story just didn't make sense, right? Like, weird college stories. So finally one night we're having a drink, and I go, what is the deal, man? Your college stuff doesn't make sense. And he's like, all right, I used to rob banks. I was in federal prison and this and that. So my first thought was, because she was kind of hot, was like, Dan, do not hit on this woman. But, yeah, I don't know if he was, I don't know if he's on probation or whatever. Yeah, one morning I just get this knock on my door, and he's like, hey, man. I'm like, what's up? He's like, you don't smoke weed. And I didn't at the time. I was like, I don't. And he's like, you got to pee in a cup for me, man.
Okay.
I was like, all right.
Well, fine. We had a buddy who he had gotten into some legal trouble, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but he where I lived at the time, it was me and 5 other dudes. But I remember he was over at the house. We're all kind of hanging out. And he wasn't doing much that night, which seemed odd. He's like, man, I got a pee test, like in the next 2 days or something like that. But anyway, he's just like, please, can one of you guys do that for me? And the laughter that erupted from all of us. I'm like, do you know? No one here, not one person here can pee clean for you, man. You might get more trouble if one of us pee in a cup. We're like, you're on your own. We're not being mean, but like, I don't even know anyone who's clean, who are not like my parents or that guy's parents. We're not asking them.
Yeah. We had a okay. So typically after the season is done,
just real quick, I'm just trying to think now. Like,
seriously,
who do I know that just never will smoke weed?
Today they said, Ted, we're drug testing you, and we're doing it. We'll give you 24 hours.
And weed's going to get me in trouble.
Weed is what we're looking for, right? And you're going to get in trouble. Like, who in your role? And it can't be parents and all that.
Right.
You know, like, who in your Rolodex of people? Because I'm going through it now, man. Honest to God, maybe VD.
Oh, good call.
VD.
Yeah.
Hey, VD, you're our P guy now. Dude, he's got to be.
So after in college, after you're done with the season, it takes a while. Jesus,
you say how exciting!
It takes a while to be able to.
Damn, that's the only one I can think of.
It's your one window to do drugs.
Yeah,
because you don't really do anything till spring ball, and the NCAA doesn't test during spring ball. Then you have your summer. They might test you when you get back, but other than that, you've got a window of time. So we get back from the bowl game, and we have to go back and start lifting and doing things like a couple weeks afterwards. So the first day we're supposed to be back, there is a sign on the door that says mandatory pee test. Go downstairs, see Dan Nealon right away as soon as you walk in. And everybody is just like, there was like 6 guys that were stopped at the door before I walked up that are just standing there. And everybody's just having a conversation with each other. And I'm just like, and I look at it and I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Like, there's absolutely nothing. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to pee dirty and I'll take what I get. That whatever the deal is, I'll deal with it. So I told him, I was like, all right, I'll go down there. I'll see what's going on. So they're still standing outside deciding, do they want to go in yet? So I go downstairs to where the area is. And he was the head trainer, but also part of the equipment staff.
Yeah.
Basically what he did was he just set up all these tables with the new grays, the new workout clothes, the new shoes for the year, all the stuff that you're going to use that year. They're all just gifts. Like, here's your shoes to work out in. Here's your stuff. But in a way, he put the sign up. Like,
just
come down immediately. And I'm like, so there's no pee test. He's just smiling back there. I'm like, because he knew.
Were you the first guy down there?
There were 2 other people down. I wasn't the first person there. I was the first person out of the group of the people outside to go down and see what the hell was going on.
I mean, that's pretty good on him.
Yeah, so I ran back up. I was like, dude, he's just handing out grades. He's messing with us. And they're all just like, oh, my God. Like, holy hell. Like, there's one guy in the lobby on the phone.
I was just already trying to make arrangements.
Who the hell he's talking to? I'm just like,
VD.
We're good, man. We're good. We're good.
Dude, I remember even in high school, there was a couple guys who obviously already had smoked weed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you get to, like, late July or whatever, and you're sitting on a deck with them, and it's like, what is with all the iced tea? Well, I'm drinking a lot of tea and taking, what was it, Golden Seals or something?
Yeah, Golden Seal. That was
right.
The stuff.
And be like, when's the last time you smoked? It's like, last night. Like, damn, man.
I
mean, camp starts in like a week.
Not going to do a thing.
What was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Hola.
Oh, yeah. Hola. It's Friday. I talked to you guys yesterday, but anyway, my story is, so my son, he was probably 8 at the time, and I came home. I do scaffolding, so I had wood boards in the back of my truck, and he wanted to do a jump. We just bought him a BMX bike, and I used to BMX when I was younger, and
you built him the Napoleon Dynamite ramp?
Like, it was literally like, a foot off the ground. Like, I literally threw a wood board on top of a recycle bin.
Okay.
And my wife went over it and was like, dude, don't be scared. Don't be scared. And Sean's like, no, I'm scared. I'm scared. And I was like, no, I can do it. I can do it. I was like, I used to do it when I was a kid. And I went over it. I hit that ramp and I tried to bunny hop. And I ended up hitting, like, the front tire down. And I flipped over the handlebars. Like, my wife thought I was dead. There was blood on the road, everything. They were airlifting something in until they got me to come to. And then I ended up going to the hospital, got 10 staples in my head, almost tore my ear off. I got some stitches back there.
Brother, do you know the most famous last words on earth? Don't worry. I used to do this as a kid.
This is before.
Hold my beer, watch this.
My beer.
This is before you moved to Florida, right?
No, this is when I lived here.
Oh, so you were still in Florida. I was going to say, man, par for the course. I don't even think anybody. Oh yeah, that's no big deal.
How long are you in the hospital?
I was only there a few hours. I have a real high pain tolerance, so I'm like, look, stitches, staples, this, that, get me out. My wife's a nurse too at the same hospital, so I usually get in and out fairly quickly.
Okay, all right.
How many times in the course of your marriage has your nurse wife told you, "Hey, Brian, this is a bad idea," and you didn't listen?
Well, it's Brian first. Second, numerous times.
Yeah,
okay,
sounds about right. I get the feeling that's the case.
Tell you what, for some odd reason, I like Brian.
Yeah,
I do too, man. He's just steady pace. He's kind of like a young Sam Elliott. You know what I mean? If you had Sam Elliott's voice, you'd think it's him.
I still like that he's just nonchalant. Like, yeah, I see her often at work.
Yeah.
Hello, Shelby. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So probably a handful of years ago, I was a young female welder working in a heavy machinery type of mom and pop shop. We did
typical story.
Yeah.
We did attachments for excavators, so lots of thumbs and buckets. And so I'm welding stuff. I'm getting it ready, or I'm getting into cleaning it so that it can go off to paint. I'm using a 4.5-inch type grinder with a wire wheel attachment on it. And, of course, not paying attention to what the hell I'm doing. I go to hit this corner part of it. It ends up catching the edge. The force of the grinder came back and hit me in the face.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
What happened to your
So
face?
The thing's spinning like a drill bit, right?
I'm sorry?
I said that thing is spinning at the speed of a drill bit. It's like.
Yeah, I think it spins at like 4,500 RPM or something like that. I can't remember.
Thus the ability to be
able
able to grind.
Yeah. Luckily, I was wearing my safety glasses, though. So really, my safety glasses took the impact of the whole thing. But it pushed my safety glasses into my face so hard that I split between my eyebrows and split the bridge of my nose down. And next thing I know, I'm looking at the ground and there's just blood everywhere and I cannot figure out where it's coming from. And then I turned to my coworker and he's like, yeah, your face is not looking so good.
Not that it was before, but now.
But I told you the same thing yesterday. No, but when you said that your eyebrows split in the middle, do you mean like from side to side, the middle?
Yeah, correct.
Wow, man. That is...
Yeah.
Both of them?
So, I'm sorry?
You said both of them.
Sounds like you had it right in the middle of the bridge shot and you broke your nose, probably.
I basically, I gave myself a unibrow and then I split my nose wide open. So,
Wow. So do you still have any scarring? Like if I were to stare at your eyebrows, which I'm known to do from time to time, would I notice that there's a scar somewhere under there?
oh, you definitely would be able to, because unfortunately I went to an urgent care and they were like, oh, we're not going to do stitches. We'll just glue it back together. So it looks like somebody took their thumbnail and just dug it right between my eyebrows.
Does anybody bring it up when they meet you? Maybe not like as soon as they meet you, like, what's wrong with your face? But I mean, once you get to know someone, does someone say like, hey, I've always wanted to ask you this. What's up with the eyebrows?
They pointed it out. They thought I just had a really gnarly scowl.
So you look angry all the time.
So they think you have resting
Yeah.
bitch face and it's actually a scar.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And then eventually my face swelled up so bad that my partner at the time told me that I looked like someone from the Avatar movie.
Okay.
That's not good.
Well, no, it's not a bad thing because you look like somebody else just for a little while. That's why it's always like you
True,
change
but-
your hair color or whatever. It's always cool.
Yeah. So both my eyes swelled shut. Bridge of my nose was no longer there. I'm black and blue and bloody everywhere. And then, yeah, my eyebrows are glued together basically. So
Wow. How long ago did this happen?
maybe 5-6 years ago.
All right. So you're okay now.
Yeah, it is what it is. And a heavy industry like that, you're going to end up with some scars. So luckily mine's not terrible.
Are you still a welder?
I am.
One day you'll be on Flashdance.
Have you ever been on fire?
I have not. I've caught myself on fire. Yeah, I've lost a few chunks of my eyebrow before, lots of hair.
All right. Yeah, I figured. Your eyebrows seem to take the brunt of your injuries. That is what I'm discovering with her. It's an odd thing.
What was the item or the object that is damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries, and in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC after emails on our question, what was the item or the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So basically, I was working on a golf course probably about 12 years ago for now. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, I was working on a deck mower, and so I was put in charge of mowing around all these trees around the golf courses where the rough was getting high. So I get out and I start working. It was one of those days I was just like, I don't even feel like being here. But anyway, I was still just stuck at work, and I'm mowing, and I was on the first hole at Brookdale Golf Course, which is long gone right now. But anyway, first hole, and I come around this tree/bush, and I saw for a split second a golf ball ricochet off of the fairway and come up and just hit me right on the side of the head. And I kind of went with it, and the guy just said, holy, and just started running over, and it knocked me off of the deck mower. And the guy's like, you okay? You okay? And I'm just like, I just got hit in the face with a ball. Like,
did he let you keep the ball?
He did not.
Okay, see, I would have given you the ball.
Did he actually?
Here, just take this, just so you have something to remember me by.
Now, did the mower keep going? Did you end up going into the bush or anything?
The mower kept going, yeah. And so here it is, but it actually, I think it went right back into the tree because I was just holding it so tight. It just basically was going in a circle, and I think it went in on the tree itself.
Okay.
And I got back on, and I was like, I think I'm all right. But then the knot started growing on my forehead, and it looked like a straight-up robin egg.
Now, did you get a concussion or anything like that?
That's what I was afraid of. And so I drove the mower all the way back to the part of the yard where the boss was, and I told him what had happened, and he was like, "You should be fine. Go back to work." And I was like, "No, I'm going home, dude. Just got hit in the face with a golf ball."
Yeah, I think that's a good enough reason.
But working on the golf course, obviously you're going to have a lot of opportunities like that, and I've seen a whole bunch of dudes like stand over shots, and they think they're all that in a bag of chips, and they end up fatting it or not even hitting the shot they want. So I was just like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
well, it's called golf. Here's the difference. If you'd have been playing, you'd have played on. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I've seen somebody get hit in the head. Be like, no, I'm good, man. I'm going to keep playing. Like, you sure?
Really?
Are you sure?
I don't know that I ever saw somebody actually get hit with one. I've seen them come close. I've come close to me.
There's a couple courses around here that will remain nameless that are very, very narrow, and they zigzag back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's very easy on these par fours to slice a ball into the other fairway when people are walking toward you.
Yeah.
Because the holes
How many times
go
have you
back
done
and
it?
forth and back and forth. I won't play one particular course in the area because it is a danger zone.
Really?
Oh, man. I played in a tournament there before, and I was like, this is not
Just
good.
too much?
Yeah. Especially with drunk foursomes on every hole. And you're trying to hit the ball as far as you can.
Of course.
Because, once one guy puts the ball in the fairway, that's the ball he plays. So everybody else is just swinging for the fences. Anyway.
I've seen, the two coolest things I've seen was one, this group kept hitting up on us. Like, they are literally, like, landing and rolling while we're in the fairway. So my brother's friend, and I was, like, 17, he teed one up and just shot it back. And I thought that was the most coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Did it solve the problem?
Correct.
There you go.
My uncle did that because people were walking up on him just a little bit too frequently. We'll forgive it. You land one that's in our spot, all right, fine. Then after, like, the second hole, again, we'll just pass it by. The third hole, that's the same thing. He just grabbed his driver and teed it, and he put it right back where it was. Like, he put it back on the tee box.
Yeah, the other one I had was we were at a country club, and it's the guy that had the membership worked, like, during the day shift. His parents were rich. So he had a membership. And then it's three of us from the night crew. So, two of the other night crew. I'm the only white guy. So it's other black, and these guys kept hitting up on us and whatever. So finally, the three of us from the night crew turned around and walked back. They had a lot to say. And then when Dennis finally walked over, and they're like, "Oh, you're with a member?" Blah blah blah. I was just like, "Yeah,
really?
That's country club.
It was that simple."
Yep.
What was the item of the object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
My man Johnny Johnson. I thought Johnny was just gonna hit him with a club. He was pissed, and he was the best golfer. Like, he knew everything. Like, he was a real golfer. But yeah, they just didn't like he was a brother.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Lucky. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Lucky. Hola.
Lucky, are you there?
I am. How are you?
Oh, great, man.
How are you?
I'm great. Just pulled over so I can talk with you all.
Okay, all right.
Why don't you tell what you told me there, Lucky?
Okay. I'll try to keep it as clean as I can. But anyway, I was working construction labor, of course. Just got done with a big old deck, wraparound deck, about 15 feet tall. We're just putting the last braces on the bottom. And there was a slight hill on the side. And, when you do construction and all that, you know how to fill a ladder. You can feel when it starts to go one way or the other, and you can adjust your weight. For some reason, I was only up about on the fourth rung. I wasn't up that far. This is a 6-foot ladder, regular 6-foot folding ladder. And it fell. I didn't feel it going over, so I didn't adjust. And like that while back, that guy that fell 22 feet, and barely, and was fine pretty much. So mine was only that 6-8 feet or whatever. So when the ladder went over, I thought I was going to be able to just tuck and roll, and no, the ladder went over in that B shape, stuck on the ground hard. And I hit that directly on the V with I don't know what that is, across that bone across the top of your junk there, I guess.
Okay.
And it hit there, and my ribs and my pelvis or whatever down there was really hurting. So now I'm on all fours, wind's knocked out of me. I'm grunting and groaning. The boss is telling me to be quiet because of the customers. And I said, and of course I was telling him off. No, I can't breathe, And so anyway, I was on all fours, and I looked down, and there was a puddle of blood down there in the crotch of my pants.
Oh, no.
And I thought, okay, now it kind of really hurts a lot more, I knew it hurt, but now it really hurts down there. So, needless to say, I saw that, jumped in my car, and drove myself to the hospital because I'm hard-headed like that.
Well, that's actually
because you're bleeding from your P-zone, man.
Was it just a laceration from the ladder?
No, it was just the tip.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. Yeah. All right. Glad you didn't hit your head. What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello,
That's
Jason.
fun.
Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, fellas?
Hola.
Hola. So, my story goes about 3 years ago, I was dirt bike riding in Moab, Utah. And first day, made it to our destination, and on the way back to the truck and trailer, about 7-8 miles out, I hit some loose red sand and fell, and the foot peg of the motorcycle went through my leg.
Through your leg?
Yeah, in my ankle. Yep.
Was it
And
sticking?
my buddy-
Was it sticking out the other side?
No, it just impaled.
Okay.
And my buddy, who was ahead of me, he had his earbuds in, and he was long gone. And so I was right in the middle of the trail, and I wrecked the day before, so I knew to keep the bike upright. So I did that right away so it didn't flood out. And I'm sitting there in the middle of the trail, bleeding out, and he finally figures out that, oh, my buddy's not here. He came back, and he's like, holy crap, dude, you're bleeding pretty good. I'm like, yeah, I know. And so he put a tourniquet on me, and he says, does that hurt? Is that too tight? I'm like, no. So he cinches it up tighter, and he's like, we have two options. I can go find some help, find a side-by-side driver and get you out of here, or we can just stick it in, second gear and slowly go out of here. I'm like, well, we don't have time. I'm bleeding out. So I put it in second gear and drove the last 7.5, 8 miles, pretty much one leg.
Yeah, we got that part for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you made it. You didn't lose your leg, did you?
And then we go to the hospital right there in Moab, and two very attractive nurses and helped me out and stitched me up pretty good. And I said, well, tomorrow we have a 20-mile kayak trip planned on the Colorado River. They're like, well, we don't suggest that, but, I know what you're going to do. So I wrapped it up in plastic wrap, and we took some mushrooms and went on a 20-mile trip on the Colorado River.
That sounds beautiful.
I like all the decision-making through this entire process.
Yes, exactly.
Wrapped it up, did shrooms, and kayaked 20 miles.
I've learned a lot from today's show.
And then I called a radio show.
Well, yeah, and today I've learned that if you get seriously injured by something stupid, the nurses are hot.
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, that's the third person to mention that.
Everyone's been getting hot nurses.
And if
maybe
you're
I go to the wrong
That's
hospital.
called a nurse.
If you're wondering why your construction project is taking longer than they said, I think I know why. What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jared. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, boys.
Hola.
So I was about 4, and my dad got home from work, and he was going to get in the shower. He took all his stuff out of his pockets, and I put everything on the dresser, and I happened to look up. I could barely see over the thing, and he had a brand new Swiss Army knife that he got from work. So I grabbed it, thinking I'm cool, and I run outside, and my brothers are out in the yard fixing their bikes, and I'm, playing, I go cowabunga, and I go running across the yard, and I trip on a rock and slice my whole forearm open from wrist to elbow, basically.
Jesus. One important question. Did you actually say cowabunga?
I did.
Awesome. I'm so happy that that's
Was
what you
this
said.
because of Bart Simpson?
No, because of the turtles.
Oh,
The cowabunga.
turtles.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah, right.
so I go to my brother, I go, hey, I think I need to go to the doctor, and I walk up and my arm is filleted open. And he's like, oh, dang. So he takes his shirt off and wraps my arm up, and, we run inside, and my dad's just getting out of the shower, and he goes, Dad, we need to go to the hospital. And so he unwraps my arm, and you can hear the thing just, like spread open. It was disgusting, and you could see all my veins pumping, and my dad turned white. He's just like, oh, yeah. So we get in the car, drive to the hospital. My brother's shirt was white at one time. Now it's pure red from all the blood I'm losing. And we get there, and they end up having to put like 100 stitches on the inside and like 140 on the outside of my arm.
So far today, you have had the most stitches applied. That is for sure.
It was insane. And so like right now I'm almost 40, and my forearm is about 15 inches long. And in the middle, I got about a 7-inch scar right in the middle. And I missed both major veins by about a centimeter.
Wow. Jesus, man. Now, do you have hairy arms?
No.
I was like, because that makes the scar stand out even more because no hair grows there.
No. No, nothing grows there. But like if I'm out in the yard working, no dirt will attract to it. So it just looks like I have a huge caterpillar on the inside of my arm.
Yay, I guess. It's clean. It just looks like a caterpillar.
Well, and I got a big octopus I got tattooed, but it just his tentacles are like wrapped around the scar, so nothing's touching it.
Right. Okay. All right. I dig that. Good way to do it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, cowabunga, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know what makes me so happy that he actually said that.
Oh, I caramba was what Bart said.
I caramba, because I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sal. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So I've got I'm going to give you a choice. You can have a fishing story, a Father's Day story, or just a weird drunk night.
How about the best one?
Oh, man. I would say it's probably the Father's Day.
All right, give us Father's Day.
Yeah, so we have a sledding hill that we built at our house with an excavator, and it's about a 45-degree angle, and I was a little tuned up, and it's Father's Day. We got a lot of people over. I decided to ride a little trike, like a kid's trike, and I'm a 6'3" guy, down the hill backwards. And so by backwards, I mean the two wheels in the back are facing down the hill, and I'm steering it from, behind my back.
So you got your hands behind you.
Yeah. So I'm a little tuned out. And so we had just built this hill, and at the bottom, there's a nice little gap. And I didn't really think about that, obviously. And, I took a spill, and that's where I got the name Scarface.
Oh, damn.
Oh, was this like an old, was this like an old metal tricycle, the heavy ones?
Yes, it is.
So it's got like the two-step ladders in the back?
Yeah, the feet plate on the back.
Right. That's a heavy piece of equipment that just smashed you.
Well, it wasn't that. It was the ground. Because once we hit that gap, it was a face plant, and it was go to sleep time, and everybody's panicking. And I had that sense. They decided it was the last time they were coming over. And these are friends that I'd had for a good 15 years. And they're like, yeah, we're not bringing your kids around to you anymore.
Are you a father? Were you a father that Father's Day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had 2 girls at the time.
And were they there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, when they think of this memory, does it make them laugh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's pictures. There's pictures of me laying past.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
once again, men's room colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
I like how drawn out that was.
Sucker.
Like he's on the wire.
And please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
When he went to the hospital, man, those nurses.
Hot.
They were hot.
Super hot, man.
Doctor was hot.
Man.
We had a goddamn orgy. It was unbelievable.
What was the item or object that did the damage to your person? 206-803-ROCK.
They might wear them, but they're not scrubs.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
So I was 19 years old, and I was working at a warehouse in downtown Seattle, and it was a Friday night, and I had a 1962 Oldsmobile Super 88, and it had a metal trim around it, and at the end of the trim it had an arrow. So work got done because we were leaving town, and so I fly into the car, and I go around the car, and that arrow trim catches my leg, goes through my jeans, goes through my boxer shorts, and at about 4 inches into my leg.
Where at on your leg? Obviously upper thigh.
Right in the middle of my thigh. And so I'm standing there, and so I say, well, I better pull this out. And so I pull it out, and I see all sorts of crap on the metal. And then I go, oh, crap. Should I just go, or should I take a look? Well, I felt warm stuff going down my leg, so I take off my pants. I pull my pants down, and I see all this blood coming down. So I have a T-shirt on. So I take off my T-shirt to wrap around my leg.
A lot of tourniquets today also.
I have no shirt on. I have my pants down to my knees. And I go, well, I got to get going. So I get in my car, and I'm driving home, holding my T-shirt over my leg. And then I get home. And
why did you go home before going to the hospital?
Well, I just thought I could put a Band-Aid on it.
Okay.
All right. That's fair. I get it.
And, well, of course, my shirt is all full of blood. I should have figured that out, but I'm 19. And so I get home, and my sister goes, what the frick are you doing? You're walking around in your underwear, no shirt on. And I show her that, and she turns white. So she goes,
she's a black woman. That's how bad it was.
Turn Chantel white.
That's why people think that black eyes are good around blood. It's like, nah, dude, you just can't tell. It is drained from my face. You just haven't noticed.
Yeah, she was not very happy.
So did she take you to the hospital?
She took me to the hospital. So then we get to the hospital, and they look at my leg, and they go, well, we have to call the police. And I go, well, what are you talking about? She goes, because whoever stabbed you, and I go, it was my car. And they didn't believe me.
So do the cops get involved now?
So, yeah, so the cops had to come and take my statement. And, of course, we have my sister's car. So they're like, the car doesn't stab somebody, dude. And so they finally let me go, but I had to fill out a statement and that nobody stabbed me.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask. So did they have to stitch you up a little bit?
I got I got 3 staples and 2 stitches.
Okay, were the nurses hot?
One of them was.
Okay, see? Yeah.
The other one was.
I think that's
listening. And the one that stitched me up was old, but the one that brought me in was hot.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I had 12 staples and 6 stitches put in once and had a giant hematoma. Like, I don't remember any of the nurses.
Then they weren't hot.
That I couldn't lean back to go through the CAT scan, and they brought in a very large man to just push me down. Yeah, that's the only nurse I remember.
I'm your nurse, player.
Ted versus the FCC is on the way. We've got the emails coming up, too, from the men's room at KISW.com.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
You're dedicated to building a bright financial future. Grow your investments with Millie Bank's high-yield savings account. Earn a highly competitive annual percentage yield with no fees or minimums. Getting started is simple too. Download the app, link your account, and start growing your money. Welcome to a new way to save more for the things that matter most. Welcome to Millie Bank. Visit millie.bank or download the Millie app today.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, we'll drink, we'll toast in the weekend, and it's Bad Choice Friday.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Come on. And today we have a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday with Coldplay.
Even the first time I ever heard this song, the only image I had in my head was Schroeder from the Peanuts. I don't know why. I just feel like this is something he would play. You know, just sitting down, squatting over his piano.
Lucy's just sitting there laying on his piano.
Was it Lucy? No, it was Sally.
It was no.
Sally was a little hoe.
Sally was after Linus.
You're right. Was it Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy.
It was Lucy.
Lucy loved
my
her
bad.
some
Yeah.
I just remember they played this whole album during my MRI and I want to kill somebody. Coldplay and Clocks taking on Bill Haley in the comments.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're going to rock.
Okay. A couple of clock songs there as we spring forward for daylight saving time this Saturday night. So keep that in mind. Yes. All right, let's see here. We will drink and toast coming up with a shout of the day, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com. Oh, let's see here. A couple of birthday shout-outs, guys. It's my wife Katie's 32nd birthday. She absolutely loves your show. So if you could give her a shout-out with the dirty German voices talking about whatever, maybe quitting a job, that would make her day. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, listen, first of all, these are not voices. We are, in fact, the dirty Germans flown in every day from Deutschland to Seattle just for you. And as far as quitting a job, I do not care what job you quit as long as it does not begin with the letter B.
Yeah, so funny part about quitting the job, yeah, it's just quite fun. So I've done it twice now, and I thoroughly enjoyed it both times.
Yeah.
What about the letter H?
Yeah, you cannot quit that one either.
You can do that at home.
Yeah, but it's more fun when it's her hand. And it's her birthday, she deserves it.
But y'all's going to have a birthday shout-out for my friend Randy, a.k.a. Red. He's 36. I'm in the process of converting him into the men's room cult. One of the first episodes I introduced him to was an episode where you all lost it when Thrill was giving a toast about Hugh the Manatee.
Oh.
So, can I get the dirty Germans talking about being a D&D dungeon master and a Leroy Jenkins? That from Lydia.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, lots of people make fun of people that are dungeon masters in D&D until they come to Deutschland and figure out what the 2 Ds are.
Yeah, the funny part is that dice. It's so big. It's amazing it fits in there in the dungeon.
Yeah. But if you sneeze, plug your nose, it'll pop right out.
Yeah, look, I'm a wizard.
Guys, today my mom, my aunt, and my cousin all have their birthdays. Not sure how the timing all worked to have this happen, and frankly, I'd rather not ask either. But any chance for Coach Ted to talk about how awesome it is to share a birthday. Thanks, guys. That from Swagger.
All right, that's a lot of family members sharing one birthday. Now, the nice part is, I bet that's one hell of a party. Everybody's getting together, doing their thing. Also, you can spread it out over 2 days. But it's nice. You have that bond. And you'll be super close to that person, just like me and Jesus.
Gentlemen, today's my 47th birthday. Since I'm the only one of my friends and family who listens to this fine program every weekday, it's time to do this myself. I would like a Homer Simpson fish sandwich, a cut that bitch off, and the dirty Germans talking about drinking at sporting events, since I'll be doing that tomorrow night at the Earthquakes soccer game. Thanks and congratulations on your new collaboration with Black Raven. That from Craig in San Jose, California.
Homer Simpson.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
Cut that bitch off! Ned Culver!
Yeah, I do not mind if you drink at the sporting events, but I plan on joining you in the stall.
Yeah, I would just assume if you're drinking, that's the San Jose games, that you'll be blacked out drunk already.
Yeah.
Fans are obnoxious. We even know of them in Deutschland.
Compete up in the parking lot on the way home.
Pretty sure they got banned for a while, too.
They did.
Yep. Guys, we'd like to get a shout-out to an amazing husband and father, Dan, pronounced Leroy, on his 51st birthday. How about a Vince Neil, a Cut That Bitch Off, and the Dirty Germans talking about all the fun we're going to have at the Seattle Thunderbirds hockey game tonight. Lots of love from Angie Grace and her sibling Sam in Auburn.
A script is a story. It's not a storybook.
Cut that bitch off! Ned Culver!
I just said that.
Where are they going tonight?
The T-Birds game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy the T-Birds, because tonight you're going to get T-boned.
Yeah, the T-Bird game's always fun. You know, most people don't know us Germans love hockey.
Yeah.
Sticks, pucks, all that good stuff, netting. Show where, show here.
Yeah, and tonight I'm going to introduce you to my team, known as the D-Birds.
T-Birds games are fun.
They are.
Gentlemen, I want to wish my mom, Tammy, a very happy birthday.
Oh, boy.
62 years old. She's the best mom anyone can ask for. Did a hell of a job raising all 9 of us. Tammy, geez, a whiz.
That Tammy with a Y or Tammy with an I?
I-E, man.
Oh, man.
Tammy.
Obviously a Y.
I know what Tammy's hobby is. Happy 60s. Yeah. How about an owl hitting the window? A what the F is that? And maybe Coach Ted giving her some advice on getting ready for retirement and spending a lot more time with her grandkids. Have a great day, Mom. Love your favorite son and grandkids, Cash, Tough, and Brantley.
Oh my God! What the is that, bro?
All right, Tammy, if you're getting ready for retirement, number 1, congratulations. Number 2, that's a lot of grandkids, I'm sure, but you gotta stay busy. Some people will get so used to working when they retire, they don't know what to do, and they go insane. Not you, Tammy. You're already insane.
Jesus. All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy
Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple of extra emails here. Let's see what we got. Oh! You've emailed in some locations on the brand new Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewery.
Gracias.
And we are here to share them with you if you are in the general area of any of these locations. Guys, Men's Room IPA is at the Star Store on South Whidbey Island.
Star Store.
Can't wait to try it tonight. That from Mark. Guys, I picked up the Men's Room IPA yesterday at Pint Defiance in Tacoma.
Great name.
They just got it, so I had to rush in and grab a pack. They told me they're getting a bunch of calls about it since it was been announced. So I'm ready to enjoy this delicious new beer this weekend. Thanks for all you do. Love you guys. That from Emily in Tacoma. Old Macholos, today I found the Men's Room IPA 6-pack at the Mandalay Deli Mart on the corner of Trek Doctor and Andover Park in Tequila.
All right.
So if you're in Tequila, head to the Mandalay Deli Mart.
The Tequila.
Yeah. A couple extra locations here for you. The Redmond Ridge Chevron and Car Wash. The Safeway in Graham. The Safeway in Des Moines. The Safeway in Yelm. The Safeway in SeaTac. Albertsons in Falls City. The Safeway on Auburn Way South. The Safeway in Sammamish. The Safeway on Shaw Drive Road, Safeway in Bremerton. Safeway in Burien. The Albertsons in Marysville. More Safeway locations. Let's just get them all taken care of. Safeway in North Bend. Safeway on South Meridian. Safeway on Panther Lake. The Safeway in Sedgwick. The Safeway on Rainier Avenue South. The Safeway in Gilman Road. The Albertsons on Military Road. The Safeway in Tumwater, Arlington, Ording, Silverdale, Lacey, Wedgwood, Hawks Prairie, Kenmore, Fuel, the Safeway in Maple Valley, Kent Kangley Drive Road. The Safeway on Military Road, the Safeway in Roxbury, Safeway on Jefferson, Safeway in Port Angeles, the Safeway of Duval, Safeway in West Olympia, Safeway in Belfair, Puyallup, Snohomish, Tumwater, Lakewood, Milton, Edmonds, the Albertsons in Gig Harbor, the Safeway in Enumclaw, the Albertsons on Pacific Avenue, the Safeway in Juanita. Yes, Juanita. Albertsons in Magnolia, the Safeway in Shelton, the Safeway in Covington, Lake Serene, Pacific Highway, Gig Harbor, Monroe, University Place, Bonnie Lake, Stillicum, Laura Queen Anne. Go to Safeway. Hopefully you'll be able to find our beer someplace.
It's weird how many of those Safeways I actually know.
Really?
Yeah. There was a handful that I actually lived next to. Obviously, the Safeway in Enumclaw, the Safeway on Shaw Road, I remember that one. The Safeway on Auburn Way, Kent Kangley. I know where all these Safeways are. I never even thought about it.
I know that one in Enumclaw myself.
That's a good Safeway.
I mean, look, I know a lot of these Safeways too. Because I think we had one up north, and I was like, I think that's the one where I stole beer once by mistake.
It's by mistake, Safeway. It's by mistake. Anyone that was
she checked the IDs.
Right.
And I didn't realize I had rung mine in. She checked both her IDs. I was like, good to go.
Having a steak from Safeway tonight.
That's fair enough.
That's my dinner. Took it out.
Oh, yeah?
Safeway steak?
Man, they got great meat. They really do like that. I go to the one in Ballard.
Safeway, you got great meat.
You got great meat, man.
I don't, you're right. At steaks, I feel like you're pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just
you should go into everyone. Go into your local Safeway and just tell the butcher, hey, you got great meat.
Yeah, and put our Men's Room IPA right in front of those steaks.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling people are like, you know what? Hell yeah, man. Give me a couple steaks, a couple 6-packs. That's where the beer should be. Right near, at least one little corner aisle. Right near the meat. You know what I mean?
Keep our beer near the steaks.
I think that's serious.
Get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up the butcher's.
Yeah.
Rather just take his word for it.
Let's see here. Some more extra emails real quick. Ola Dinosaur Bajolas. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Sorry for taking so long, but I've been catching up on the Odyssey app. Dumbest thing I've ever heard was from my ex. She asked me if dinosaurs were real because the Bible doesn't talk about them. Wasn't the brightest, obviously. Guys, just found your beer at the Safeway in Snohomish. Effing delicious. Great job from the guys at Black Raven Brewing. That from our buddy Tim. Nice work there,
Just because it's not in there doesn't mean it can't.
Yeah. Awesome wake-up
They didn't have leprechauns in there, and those are real.
They didn't mention coloring books.
Gentlemen, I was a student at Central
Or
Washington.
pigeons.
9-volt batteries.
I was a student at Central Washington.
Twerking. There is no mention of twerking, but I've seen it with my own eyes, man.
Guys, I was a student at Central Washington University the early 2000s. I was awakened by a fellow student, complete stranger, in the middle of campus. Turns out, I didn't make the walk back from my friend's dormitory to mine. Instead, I decided to take a nap. on top of a large green electrical box in the middle of campus. He asked me if I was good. I said, yeah. Got up, wandered back to my room. Pretty sure I did not go to class that day. Another one on what you might have woken up to. Guys, one summer, my wife and I and our two of our friends staying at a cabin in northern Michigan. I woke up early that morning to go out fishing, catch sunrise, and there was only one other boat out on the lake with a lone fisherman who was enjoying the morning. After about a half an hour, I just decided to go back in, went back to sleep. A few hours later, we were all awakened by a police pounding on the door. Turns out that fisherman drowned, and they were looking for the owner of the boat that was adrift on the lake. I've had to have been the last person, I guess, probably to see that guy alive. My friends still joke about how I had something to do with it. Wild weekend. Rock guys. That from the Forest Dweller.
My friends don't know, they're not joking.
But I got his boat. Oh, let's see here. I think it's time that we go back in time to the last time that we played Ted versus the FCC. So if we could, let's go back in time.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts.
3 times fast.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's...
Taryn Daly with a fan.
And now, everyone's
Filthy mouth.
favorite daytime
Filthy
game
mouth.
show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
Technically, if you're a female, you can say the C word, right? It's kind of like the N-bomb.
I think you're better off.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Always in the context.
Yeah.
Especially in Australia.
I think we generally have different context.
Yes.
I know I do.
Oh, yeah. So tired. Okay.
I mean, hell, I could say it.
Yeah, I
mean, you can say it.
You can say it.
I can call a dude one, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Ted, you missed this one a couple of weeks ago, and then we had the fine folks from Black Raven Brewing in last weekend. Bill, Mike, John, all those guys. So we didn't have time for Ted versus the FCC,
but we had time for Taryn versus the FCC.
Yeah, we did later on.
Filthy freaking.
But we're going to give this one another shot here, and it's about Kent, and it goes something like this. Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts. The way we do Ted versus the FCC, you got to read that one time through, then 3 times fast.
Judges did. Thanks, Mike. All right. Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts.
3 times fast.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts.
1.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilt. 2. Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts.
Damn.
There you go.
There you go. We can retire that one. There you go. Back in the win column of Ted versus the FCC. You are listening to the Men's Room.
And they stay there.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
You're dedicated to building a bright financial future. Grow your investments with Millie Bank's high-yield savings account. Earn a highly competitive annual percentage yield with no fees or minimums. Getting started is simple too. Download the app, link your account, and start growing your money. Welcome to a new way to save more for the things that matter most. Welcome to Millie Bank. Visit Millie.bank or download the Millie app today.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, Takata Mess will drink a toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. 35,000 pounds of Johnsonville turkey sausage have been recalled due to the presence of rubber pieces inside.
Well, you should try
I didn't know they use contraception. That's great.
Try the new the men's room beer broads from Ooley's.
There you go.
Coming soon.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, we sabotage them.
Sabotage. That's right. It was an inside gig. There's an extremely rare 1 in 250 year weather event that's set to strike the UK.
And what is that weather event?
I don't know. I'm not working on it.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes open for that.
But the fact that they're saying it, they didn't say it was devastating. They said it was rare. So
it could be Aurora Borealis.
Right. It could be an odd cold front this time of year. It could be an odd clearing this time of year. You know, it's for whatever reason. It did every quarter millennia, I guess. It hits 1 in 250 years. So
yeah, all right.
Congratulations. Look out, UK.
Whatever it is, it's coming.
Oh, is it like a blizzard?
Exactly. I don't know.
Do you really not know?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not working on it then. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weather, dude. You know I want to know.
I know you do.
You tell me later.
All right. You know what? For you, Ted,
you tell me later.
I will make a note. I'm going to put that in there right now. Hang on.
Yeah. Tell Ted what the weather event.
Tell
is.
Ted the weather event.
The Britain one, very important.
There we go. Okay.
I got into it a couple weeks ago with somebody.
Did you really?
They were just wrong about the weather. And I had tried nicely to say it, and then I was like, you're just wrong. That is not how it works.
What did they think how did they think the weather?
Just something about the way the fronts were moving and why this was happening. I was like, right, and that's why the storm is there. And they just kept going and going. I was like, all right, like, look, she ain't going to hook up with me as I know weather, but you sound like a jackass. Right? Like, I get it. You're trying to sound smarter than me.
You need a graph. Just stand in front.
Yeah, exactly.
Just need the big old green screen out there. People are 6 times more likely.
That'd be a power move, man.
Oh, he just
have like your
rolls
personal green screen at a bar. So when you have your bar argument, like, right, just get in front of it and if you look behind me, you'll see.
Even better yet, he has somebody wheel out like one of those TVs that we used to have in school.
Yeah.
Just wheel it out to wherever he's going, and then Ted leaves to whatever studio he's got set up in any
So
random
every
place.
time you see him.
That way you can see exactly. This is the high pressure here, low pressure down here, and looky here, jet stream.
Power moves.
I'm telling you, me and my brother used to watch the Weather Channel all the time. We loved it. It's just the radar.
Just the radar.
Yeah.
It's just called Ted dropping knowledge.
Knowledge drops.
Look out. People are 6 times more likely to become obese in their middle age if both parents work.
You don't frickin' say.
You mean genetics?
And a little bit of it is.
How did he even know that word?
It's almost like all the guys in my family went bald. I didn't see it coming.
Right. And I will say some of it is genetics, certainly, but I think there's also another part of it that it's teaching different cooking and eating habits. When I was growing up, you know, the food of the 90s and early 2000s, of course, we all already knew it wasn't the best for you, but then as more and more studies came out, it's like, stop eating this.
Right.
Stop eating this right now.
Sure.
But
no, that's a fact. But also, there's a reason your doctor needs your family medical history.
Right.
Correct.
That's the most important part of the
and you know
form you fill
we
in.
were feeding a family of 5 on a budget, and so it was hot brown and lots of it. However, it was making us all fat. Now, when I flew the coop and I got my own place, I continued those eating habits. I continued to eat those things, right, because that's what I know. Until I met my wife, and she's like, what in the world are you eating? No. No.
I
salad.
stayed thin because no one wanted to eat my mom's cooking.
Hey, whatever
You
works.
might think I'm joking. Like, I am not eating that, man.
You should thank her.
I know. Thank you, Mom.
We are in the gray time of the year, and something that we hear here in the Pacific that we hear in the Pacific Northwest all the time, the seasonal depression that we got going on, all the clouds that come in here, and we don't get enough of that vitamin D. We get depressed out here, and so we need to find different ways in order to boost our mood. And luckily, I've got the help.
Okay,
The Men's Room Top 10.
Number one.
The Men's Room Top 10.
Don't give it away.
spoiler alert.
Ways to boost your mood.
From him.
I know I'm one of the most positive people I know. I also know I'm one of the most positive people I work with. But if I need to boost my mood, I'll fix myself a nice salmon steak. Turn on Sinatra. Maybe light a balsam fir candle.
Balsam fir.
Pour 3 fingers of some fine brown whiskey. And enjoy a quiet evening at home with my best friend. Me. Suck it, losers. Positive Friday.
Sad thing is, I believe that is absolutely what he does to relax.
He's doing it right now. You know it.
Absolutely.
Let's just call it a filet, dude.
Salmon steak.
Yeah, cauliflower steak I get because it's looks like a steak, but like that's just a salmon fillet.
Well, it depends on how it's cut. It's cut
Really?
down that way, yeah. Yeah,
There's a difference between a salmon fillet and a salmon steak.
well, the cut, how you cut it. So have you ever seen the one where it's just the whole fish? That you can grill that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other stuff you got to put on like a plank.
Miles dropping knowledge. He's
I
rolling
eat
into
salmon all
I
the
think
time.
BD misses meat.
I think he does too. Yeah.
I prefer the fillet.
He's pescatarian, so he just gets the slightest little taste of meat. But
Yeah, you're right. I didn't know that. I thought all fish was just fillets.
That was always my assumption. I will be damned.
he's dropping knowledge with the men.
So technically, is McDonald's giving us a filet o fish or the fish steak?
Filet fish.
That is filet fish.
Yeah.
Fish
I
steak-
like the
fish
filet
steak-
of fish, but that day it's not a
They
fresh.
should call it filet of mini fish.
That's right.
You don't get
Yeah.
a tuna fillet.
You know what I need? I need the drop of that. The more you know. Every time
We
Miles
do.
does
Why
something
don't
like
we
that,
get
we just
that?
need that little. La.
We wouldn't use it much.
So these are ways to boost your. Or then we would need something to redact it as soon as we spew some stupid ass knowledge that's wrong.
Exactly.
These are ways to boost your mood. Last on the list, they say disconnect. Practice some time away from screens and social media. In an always on world, time on screens becomes the norm. However, the effect of being always connected may actually lead to social isolation, which I feel like gets said a lot. The irony of people that are saying, guys, get off social media on social media.
On media, yeah.
However, it's where people are looking, so that's how you're going to get that message across. But I have found sometimes it is difficult. I love the times when I accidentally forget my phone somewhere, and yeah, I'm slapping my leg over and over and over again because it's where I go to when I'm bored in the slightest. But then all of a sudden, it's a breath of fresh air. So I'll agree with that one.
Sure. I think my favorite pastime is looking at social media and just not commenting.
That's right.
Like I'm like, yeah, that's a terrible tweet or a terrible take. I'm like, I'm not going to comment. At least I know where this. At least I know where they stand.
Exactly. You ever look at the comment section? It's got like 598 comments on it. And you're like, not today.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're just going to. Right. It's like
Exactly.
you're also not going to solve it on social media.
Correct. And half of the comments on there are trolls anyway, just trying to stir people up.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of 12-year-olds that have duped you into putting some old person's photograph on there.
Hey, like nothing is that awesome, right? I remember a couple years ago there was a phrase I hated. It wins the internet. Like nothing's winning the internet,
Right.
and most of the outrage is not to that level as well.
No. Finding a support group. If you've experienced a major life event such as a job loss, divorce, loss of a loved one, it can be helpful to talk through your feelings with others who have been there. You're not alone. Find a support group. That'll help boost your mood. Seek counseling or professional help. Always a good piece of advice. Don't turn to alcohol or narcotics.
Oh, cocaine's out.
Honorable mention on the list there.
Well, it depends on your perspective. If it's something you always do, it's not that you turn to it, it's just your buddy. Like sometimes I turn to my wife. But just because we're sitting together on the sofa, there's nothing deep going on. We're just there.
My buddy at the bar is not a good person, but I feel good when I'm next to him.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh. I like that. I go to this bar to sit next to that piece of crap.
Because I know he's always there. The temporary masking of a problem can lead to increased depression, addiction, and other negative or life-threatening outcomes. Don't turn to alcohol or narcotics.
There's definitely bar friends.
Oh, for sure.
You bet.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, I like that guy. Like, I don't know that we're going to hang out outside of this bar, but if I see you there, we can sit together.
You bet. We're having fun.
Seats not taken.
I got to disagree with this one because I don't like the vessel of it, but it says get a pet. Nothing says unconditional love like a wagging tail to greet you at the door or a purring cat to hum you to sleep. Studies show that animal companions can reduce anxiety and stress.
And they can also boost it.
Correct.
I think it's a responsibility is the difference. You're
right.
Like, go someplace and you can pet a puppy. It'll make you feel great. But when the puppy's at home and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and it is pooped on your bed, it's like, dude, I don't feel like dealing with it.
Right.
Like, that's a commitment to get a pet.
And it is a commitment.
You know what else says unconditional love? Kids. You feel sad? Have a kid. Just go ahead and do that. Just go do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I fathom what they're saying, but I'm with you. That seems bold to be like, just go get a dog.
Right.
Like, maybe pet a dog.
Right.
One of my favorite takes on kids was Jim Gaffigan. He said, everybody asks, what's it like to have a kid? Just imagine you're drowning and someone hands you a baby.
Dude, I'm telling you, his book, Dad is Fat, is awesome.
I just got it. I want to read this.
I read it like 10 or 12 years ago, and it's hilarious.
I love it. He's hilarious, dude.
He is.
Appreciating nature. Again, these are ways to boost your mood. Appreciate nature. A Stanford University study found that walking in nature could lead to a lower risk of depression. Any green area will do. Find a park or walk around a neighborhood with trees if you don't have already access to wide open spaces. And natural sunlight can also enhance your mood.
Just get outside. Even if you live in a concrete jungle, just get outside.
Yeah, for sure.
Walk.
Exactly. Find a friend. Friendships prevent isolation, which can have a detrimental effect on mental health. Having someone to talk with and listen can make all the difference in the world. If you have difficulties finding friends or talking to people, there's a great book called The Art of Small Talk. Helps out a lot.
All right. What's shaking, mama?
Those breasts. Are they for sale?
You think they should call mustard meat lotion?
Can I bring them home with me? You can stay here.
Oh, my God. Damn. Eating healthy. I know we don't like it. It's not the popular choice, but doggone it, when you eat healthy, it's better. It says when you nourish your body, you nourish your brain. Protein foods that contain vitamin B12, such as dark leafy greens, broccoli, and oranges, and complex carbohydrates like oats, pears, or beans can help keep mood elevated and stable. Junk food and sugar may satisfy in the moment, then lead to a crash. I know it sounds flowery, but it's true.
We know it's true. It's just so...
It's the idea of just going through with it. Look, you go to lunch, right? There's a hamburger and there's a salad.
I know.
You want the ham. If you can just get over it, just order the damn salad, eat it, and when you're done, you'll feel better mentally.
Sure.
I'm not even saying physically.
Right.
I'm not even saying any difference in your stomach from one to the other. I'm just saying you will feel better knowing that you ate a salad. And it's stupid, but it's just like I overcame what I wanted to do.
I told you guys, I did that dry January, and okay, great. What I hated the most is how good I felt.
That's what bugged you?
Exactly.
I hate that this works.
My head is clear. I'm thinking right. I'm not off the handle all the damn time. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, the food one's tough. Yeah. That's the one that haunts me the most. Because I'm one of those people. Like, if I'm depressed or sad or something, like, let's get a pizza.
Exactly.
Well, and then it's like, if I'm in a good mood, it's like, let's get a pizza.
Well, food absolutely regulates our mood. If we got bad news, like, I can go for a milkshake.
But think about it. If you order food at home, 99% of the time, it's not stuff that's good for it. So I order pizzas, get Five Guys, all that kind of. You're not generally ordering salads. And then if you go out to a restaurant and decide, you know what, I'm going to eat healthy. You walk in and you're smelling the fajita plate go by. It's like, oh my God. So, honestly, if you're trying to eat healthy, I would say to anyone, your best bet is doing it at home.
The Chipotle, I believe, not Chipotle, what's the other one?
I'll say fajitas.
Chili's.
Fine.
They have a Southwestern chicken salad, one of these places I read about today. 2,200 calories.
In the salad?
In the salad. Now, it's in a tortilla bowl.
Still. Yeah, pick your salads wisely.
Right, exactly. But you still think, you know what, I'll get the Southwestern salad.
Right.
And it's like there's more calories in that than any other item on the menu.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing, too, is every time you go out, like, it's just pumped even more full of sugar and salt.
Correct. Absolutely.
Stay in the present. Ways to boost your mood. The what-ifs and if-onlys of the past and future can be paralyzing. Recognize how much time you spend outside of the now and be realistic about what you can do about the situation. Carpe diem.
All right.
It can be difficult, though. Those demons are loud.
Of course they are.
Yeah,
I mean, that's anyone's struggle.
And to be honest with you, that's why I end up falling asleep with the TV on. Most of the time, yes, I can. If I really set my mind to it, I can. However, if I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm just there to my thoughts, my brain starts to spin about all the anxieties of life. And then I turn Family Guy on, and then all of a sudden I don't care about that anymore.
But also, I think to a degree, as long as it's not crippling, it's good that your brain does that. It's called pattern awareness and preparation. You don't have to stress about everything, but break it down. So, okay, this is my reality. Correct. This is what must be done. Just come up with your own plan. And I, for me personally, if I wake up at 3 a.m, I got that stuff going on, I problem solve it a lot faster.
I get you.
Because I'm like, look, you don't have to like it, but the universe never asked you that. Right. What the universe did say is, here's your deal, bro. What are you gonna? And it sucks, but anyway, you at least start the process of trying to solve it.
But also telling yourself, what are we going to do about it right in this moment?
Right.
It is 3 a.m.
Yeah.
There's nothing you're going to do. Go back to sleep. Give back. Finding ways to help others often results in making you feel good yourself. There are many volunteer opportunities with organizations, or just look around. Carry someone's groceries, rake leaves for an elderly neighbor, watch your friends' children for an hour, drink Men's Room IPA. Anything, just to give back.
I always give back. Like, if you let me borrow a piece of gum, when I'm done chewing it, give it right back to you. I do feel better.
I like this. Watch your friends' children. Like, never been in a bad mood and been like, can I watch your kids?
Right, man.
I just need to watch your kids.
But I like the idea of it. Good for those people, Mike.
Ways to boost your mood: being thankful. Gratitude is a great antidote to feeling negative, and it's consistently linked to feelings of well-being. If you're having trouble finding people or things to appreciate, begin a gratitude journal and periodically write down reasons to be thankful.
A gratitude journal.
And I can understand the sentiment behind this. I've thought about this. When you think about the negative all the time, that's all you're going to see is all that negative.
Sure.
So thinking about the things that are good in your life to be thankful for, to be appreciative of, starts to kind of turn that brain toward that light, as it were. You can stare about the things that you don't like in your life, the mistakes that you made, the problems that are coming down your way, and like we've just discussed earlier, there's a time and a place for that. But on the whole, looking at the things that you have in your life to be appreciative of helps you with a better mood.
The older I get, the easier it gets. Having kids definitely help. But you go like, okay, I love my kids, I love my wife, I love my family, love my job, blah blah blah. And then I go, okay, but what ruins that? Right? You know what I mean? Like, what are the things that ruin my? Because I am very fulfilled with all of these things. What are the things that ruin that?
Talk to yourself positively.
Damn, you look good, boy. Yeah,
that's true. We have negative thoughts. It comes out.
Yeah. And we're our biggest critics. We are so hard on ourselves. Knock it off. You're not that bad of a person.
You're also not that good of a person. But you're not that bad.
You could be better, but you're not that bad. Getting a good night's...
Somebody likes you.
Correct.
Not me, but there is somebody.
Your mom does.
She was mentioning about the Sun Fairs last night, but whatever.
Getting a good night's sleep. That's not up to me. Just going to say that. But then the number one way that you can boost your mood... Thank you. Now I got to wait for
a drum roll
here. Yeah. Staying active. Exercise. Even a brisk 10-minute walk can relieve stress and release endorphins, the feel-good hormones. The American Heart Association recommends 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week, but even 10 or 15-minute increments count as well. Just get outside. If you get a dog, I know, you can just set it out back and just let it do its business out in the backyard. Take that dog for a walk. You will thank yourself for doing that.
I don't know why, Mike, but one of the last lines you said just reminded me of something that, like Robert Plant would have sang in Zeppelin. Feel good hormones.
Take a vitamin D, damn it.
There you go. Tesla's indestructible Cybertruck may have met its match, Miles.
What was that?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to the weekend and drinking time?
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked. High Hopes. Streaming 420 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries. And in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savory, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked. High Hopes. Streaming 420 on Hulu.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast a 42-year-old man from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just so you know, I had a different shot of the day planned. This just came down the pipe, and I think it's worth acknowledging. So this 42-year-old man in Green Bay, well, he ended up being taken into custody after an alleged disturbance on the city's east side. So according to a criminal complaint obtained by Local 5, this man, we'll call him Mr. Kroll, as Kroll is his last name, he was arrested following an incident involving a gun. This happened a little bit earlier this week. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Officers were sent to the 900 block of East Walnut Street. Boy, we know about Walnut Street. When officers got to the scene, two people were brought to the squad car and placed in the back. Additionally, officers took Mr. Kroll into custody, and he was reportedly standing outside with no shirt on. Now, the complaint says that Kroll appeared to be highly intoxicated, but he did follow the officer's commands. It's always mentioned that authorities identified him by his Wisconsin ID card, okay? Anyway, the two people that were originally brought to the squad car, they say they were arguing with him over the phone. Then about 2 hours later, they found him at the door because he wanted to come over there and deal with it. Apparently, he had a gun with him. Anyway, the reason we're toasting this clown, who was drunk and essentially arrested without incident, his official name is Deez Nuts Kroll. Jesus. DEEZ-NUTS. That's his first name, Kroll. Deez Nuts. High expectations from that guy. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
All right, till we spring forward Saturday night, Sunday morning, get an extra hour of daylight come this time next week. So we had a daylight saving time inspired Bad Choice Friday, the idea being clocks. We had Coldplay with clocks and Bill Haley and the Comets with Rock Around the Clock. Mike, how was the voting?
It was decently close, but it was still kind of a blowout there with a 65-35 split. We may be springing forward this weekend, but tonight we are going back in time to rock's roots, and we are rocking around the clock with Bill Haley.
I feel like I should put one hand up to my ear when I say that. Welcome to the weekend, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room 99.9 KISW Seattle.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, you got the Jimmys.
Kibble and Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Jay.
Stephen Colbert. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. All these guys have teams of talented writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is it an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The FDA put out a warning after they found lead in some cinnamon. So now if you eat a Cinnabon at the airport, you can't go through the metal detector.
The Ted Smith, yes.
Fallon.
The FDA just issued a safety warning after finding cinnamon products contaminated with lead. Yeah, now if you eat a Cinnabon at the airport, you can't get through the metal detector.
Oh, damn it. Pittsburgh nudists have brought back one of their favorite activities, announcing that Balls Out Bowling is back. Where nudity is required, but women can wear bottoms. Unfortunately, they have to rent those shoe bottoms from the shoe counter.
Colbert.
Seth. Colbert.
Pittsburgh nudists have brought back one of their favorite activities, announcing that Balls Out Bowling is back. Where nudity is required, although women can wear bottoms. Unfortunately, they have to rent those bottoms from the shoe counter.
A survey asked people if they'd rather have gourmet food or comfort food for the rest of their lives. 70% of people would prefer comfort food. Somewhat related, the survey was conducted by Ozempic.
Myers.
Fallon. Smith.
Damn it.
Comfort food doesn't say, we watch the calorie intake.
No, it does not.
After a door fell off one of their planes, Boeing took 2 months to give a list of to give them the door. After a door fell off one of their planes, Boeing took 2 months to give them a list of their door specialists. The CEO was like, "We had the list, but it blew away when our door fell off."
Colbert. Fallon.
That's Fallon.
Well, get this. After a door fell off one of their planes, Boeing took 2 months to give investigators a list of names of their door specialists. The CEO was like, we had the list, but it blew away when the door fell off.
A major scandal in Long Island where a bakery's vegan donuts were actually from Dunkin' Donuts. Customers became suspicious when the donuts tasted good.
That's just truth. I hope that's you. Beat that, Smith.
Colbert.
A major scandal in Long Island where a bakery's vegan donuts were actually from Dunkin' Donuts. Customers, yes, it's true, customers became suspicious when the donuts tasted good.
Right, and wasn't there a place in L.A. that was serving like chicken and something, and they were just getting the chicken strips from like the KFC across the street?
Yeah,
the Popeyes.
there was, yeah.
Popeyes. And he admitted it.
Hey, Popeyes has good chicken.
I want to say he put it on the menu, like in Popeye's chicken strips.
Oh, really?
I think he did.
Well, once he got found out,
Maybe
but he was passing them off. Yeah, but like, don't own a restaurant then.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, look, I love Popeyes, but I don't know. You can't just serve Popeyes at a restaurant. Like, people go there as they think you're doing something else. And also, he's probably charging more. So it's like,
you know he is.
I'd rather just go down the street to the Popeyes and get that. All right. So I'm sure everybody's heard about this. Mike Tyson says he's going to get back in the ring this summer to fight Jake Paul, who's YouTube famous. Him and his brother Logan Paul. Logan Paul, of course, in the WWE now. Logan boxes, but Jake seems to be the better one.
Sure.
They're saying the fight will take place on July 20th, AT&T Stadium in Dallas. It'll air live on Netflix. No word on what they're making. I do know Tyson a couple years ago said something like, I'd fight him for $1 billion.
Yeah, he did. That was his quote, $1 billion.
Obviously, it's not $1 billion,
No.
but Jake Paul makes a lot of money.
Yep.
And a lot of people watch that stuff. So that fight there, Tyson said, I'm very much looking forward to stepping in the ring with Jake Paul. He's grown significantly as a boxer over the years, so it'll be a lot of fun to see what he has, an ambition of a kid can do with experience with the aptitude of a goat. Tyson will be 58 when he steps in the ring, Jake Paul 27. So I told Mike, I don't know that this fight's going to happen just because I don't know that they're going to let Tyson fight.
Really? You don't think so?
He'll be 58 at the time of the fight. Right? His last exhibition was Roy Jones Jr. I mean, Tyson's still in great shape, but for an almost 60-year-old dude, like they looked kind of slow and plodding.
Did, for sure.
And then the other thing is, too, is that guy has a lot of wear and tear on his body. Jake Paul can hit hard, but I'm just like, I don't like seeing football players kind of suck to the end of their career.
Sure.
You know, you're just kind of like, God.
Just retire, man.
Right. But like watching boxers or MMA guys just take punishment is brutal to watch. So that's why I'm like, I guess they could call it
exhibition, I guess you
I just
can
don't see Texas, the state commission going, we're going to sanction this fight.
Do you believe that if they can't get it done there, they'll just switch to a different venue? In a different state, we'll say, like, we'll take you, like Florida.
I think that's what would happen. If Texas said, man, we're not going to do it. Somebody wants to.
If there's
make
any
that
state that I would think, all right, we don't care what anyone else says. In my mind, you pick the right state.
I think Wyoming has pretty lax laws on their fights, too. That's why the Bare Knuckle Championship, that organization, though I want to say those fights are generally in Wyoming or Florida.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty lax on it. Like, say what you want about Vegas, but Vegas does a very good job. Texas actually does that's the other thing, too. A lot of articles are mentioning how stringent Texas is on this stuff.
That makes sense based on their location and who typically
But everything
boxes.
else, F it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike and I talk about this all the time. Like, I go back and forth because it's like, to Jake Paul's credit, whoever he fights, he's going to get a ton of views because he's that guy.
Guaranteed.
And look, we've done it, right? We've gone over to our buddy's house and chipped in and watched it. He's only fought one real boxer, which was Tommy Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay for that one, but I watched it. He lost. And then, like, the guy he just fought is a guy that hadn't fought in 2 or 3 years. Like, he's bragging about beating Nate Robinson. It's like, Nate Robinson was a basketball player,
right,
who you were much bigger than. And then he's beat some of these MMA guys who are great fighters who could beat him in a fight. Right, they're not good boxers. I mean, look, I don't know if you looked online the last half an hour. We just saw another one of these with Anthony, I think it's Anthony Joshua. I forget what they're fighting, but he was taking on a former UFC and heavyweight MMA champion,
right,
and he knocked him out in like 2 rounds. Because it's just like the
He's
MMA
not a
guys,
boxer.
right? You can have awesome striking, but he's just not a boxer. I mean, everybody knows Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Conor had a boxing match.
Sure.
Which, God damn it, I'm bad. I did watch.
That was better than I thought it would be, though.
But Floyd's also not a knockout guy.
Right.
He doesn't have power. That's never been his game, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna box you. And that's basically what he did.
That's exactly
like
what he
McGregor never really got close to him. But, like, yeah, when you step in with those guys, like, they're going to knock you out.
Yup.
So, I don't know. Look, if it happens, I know this much. I'm not going to order it this time. And I'm not going anywhere to watch it. Because I'm going to be at Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hold my hand.
Yeah. It's, I was just like, Hootie? White River? Like, you got to see Hootie.
Well, no, but they're playing with another good band, too, right?
Are they?
I think they're a double build tour.
I mean, I would just assume if it's Hootie the Blowfish, maybe it's like a Better Than Ezra or
Yeah, you might not be wrong.
somebody like that, right?
Gin Blossoms or whatever. I think it's a bigger act than that. It's like Hootie.
Spin Doctors?
Maybe. Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know. Somebody just texted me about it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I thought I was going to conflict with another concert, but I was like, they were like, yeah, but you could see that other dude. They're like, Darius Rucker's a massive country star. Like, I don't know how many times. There's a good chance Hootie might only go on tour one or two more times. So I'm like, I should go down there and check that out. Let's see. Netflix, of course, started cracking down on people sharing accounts. So Max is the latest streamer to announce it's going after password sharers. The crackdown will begin late this year. And yes, in the announcement, they mentioned how successful Netflix was in doing it. They called it a meaningful opportunity to increase revenue.
What is the show I'm missing on Max? Because I know there's every streaming service has a show that I would like to watch.
On Max, that's
Max
where you
is
get your
HBO,
you
right?
get your Game of Thrones on there. You get your The Wire. You've got Deadwoods on there.
I will say that what drives me crazy about that streaming service is like I have HBO, I have Cinemax, but then it's like you got you can't watch the old series. Like it used to be, you just went to your HBO on demand, and like The Wire, The Sopranos, they were just sitting in there.
And they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
Correct.
I did not know that.
It's more difficult to find the shows that you wanted to watch in the first freaking place.
If the show is on now, can you go to previous seasons? So Curb Your Enthusiasm, whatever, 12,
Probably.
13.
I'm not sure, but I feel like if the show's currently on, they only have some of the seasons on there.
Okay. All right.
Because it's the same kind of way with like Better Call Saul. Like Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, like I watch that on Netflix, but it takes time to get there. So like it's already over. I just haven't watched the last season yet.
Okay.
So I don't know. That one just kind of drives you up a wall. It's like, dude, I already got the channel. Let me see it. Like, because there's other people I don't think that pay. I guess if you pay for Max, you get everything in there. Because it used to be HBO Max. Because it was HBO Cinemax.
That's right. Now it's just Max.
Now it's just Max. You got to rebrand everything and change the name constantly.
It's the most important thing you can do. We used to be HBO Max. Now we're just Max. Okay. Do you have the same shows? Has anything changed? And honestly, I don't know. I don't really watch much on there because, like you, I had HBO. So when I was watching Game of Thrones, I just went to HBO and just said, "What season do you want to watch? What episode?" And I did that. Now I'm like,
yeah, because Twitter made a lot more money since it became X.
No, but they've made a lot less.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they made a whole lot less. Yeah.
Sometimes the rebrands and changing the names, it's like, for what? And then it's also kind of like, like last week they had that list of the NFL stuff about facilities and everything. It's kind of funny because the Cowboys, hands down, have the nicest facilities.
Of course they do.
They just don't win anything. No. You know what I mean? And it's like Kansas City had the worst. But they win. And it's almost like, I don't know, is it I'd rather win a championship and deal with the facility,
man.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm sure other jobs, it's a big difference if you're, working 9 to 5 every day.
I think in that scenario, yeah. But they don't say, hey, Ted, look, man, Monday through Thursday, we're going to be in this office. But on Friday, we're going to this office. I need you to do everything we've been doing, but we're going to this office against this other. Like, that's just not how it works, right? So 9 to 5, you want your place to be comfortable. But right with football, I'm sure it's glamorous and glorious and all these things. They got the new Beats headphones, right? But they don't win.
Right, and like college football, those facilities are ridiculous. But it matters in college football, right? Like, again, we're dealing with 19, 20-year-old dudes. So in college football, I get it. And also, there's just more money coming in. There's no cap on it. But, yeah, sometimes, like, I don't know, Dallas, it seems like you have everything except you win. Like, I'd rather work out in the crappy Kansas City stuff and keep Chris Jones and win another title.
By the way, I like this text that just came in. It says, HBO Max shortened its name to Max. Your move, Peacock.
Oh.
The P Network. I mean, either way, it doesn't really work.
It's a no-win situation.
Also, just looked at that Hootie and the Blowfish tour. That might be Collective Soul along there with them.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
I have to hit up one of our old co-workers. All right, let's see. Roseanne's House from her sitcom, as well as the post-Roseanne show, The Connors. It's on the market. The house has only been ever used for exterior shots. On TV, the inside of the house is just a bunch of sets. That's what most houses you see are.
Yeah.
Right? Like the diner in Seinfeld, it was all filmed in Hollywood. They just there's the one outside
the
shot.
Brady Bunch house.
You know what I found out recently? You know, the beginning of Friends when they're doing the theme song, and it shows them all around that fountain?
Yeah.
The fountain's in L.A. I don't know why that bugged me, but I'm like, there's 10 million fountains in New York City, and you still shot the fountain scene in L.A.
Well, I don't think they shot anything in New York City.
I'm pretty sure you're probably right.
You guys ever been on movie sets?
No.
So, like,
No.
well, Miles, you've been to Disney World. Like, if you go over to, like, the MGM Studios.
I never went over there.
Oh,
They didn't have it last time I was there.
All right. Damn, dog.
Yeah.
When you were a kid.
Right.
Damn, dog.
It is shocking how realistic it looks.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of forget. So it's like, yeah, like all that stuff. I know that I want to say also, I watched a special about ghost towns.
Uh-huh.
And there's some ghost towns out, and I can't remember if it was Colorado or Wyoming, but they're not really ghost towns. They were set up for all the spaghetti westerns and then got abandoned. Okay. So it still looks like a town was there, but it's not like people actually live there. So I'm like, I don't know if that counts as a ghost town.
That's an abandoned town.
Well, the Roseanne house, let's see. It has 4 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms. It's not in Lanford, Illinois. It's in Evansville, Indiana. They're asking how much? Indiana, right? You got 4 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms.
I'll say
$275.
$235.
$225.
Bam. We both overpaid.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you could go.
That's all right, man. I just want to make sure I get a bid in that no one can beat.
There you go.
Miles, you gave me this story the other day, but 2 Washington State residents have advanced to the semifinals of the Tournament of Champions and will be on Jeopardy tonight.
All right.
All right,
watch that. You can check that out. Saturday morning, for me, there's a lot of stuff going on, all right? You got 6 nations, Ireland versus England. Let's go, Ireland. You also have a Formula 1 race and Arsenal playing. I know your Sounders are in action Saturday evening. Your Kraken are in action tonight.
Get cracking.
It's Sunday, man. You know what I do now? We'll watch me some NASCAR.
Boogada.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Police pull over a stolen BMW X5 and find an 11-year-old behind the wheel. This is strange, but thousands of dollars in calculators thieves did steal. Dog who spent months with a box stuck on top of his head finally finds a home. Because of sand and apocalypse, Tesla Cybertruck can no longer roam. And a woman goes to Miami to get a butt lift and is not in well. And it's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story has changed because during the headlines I wasn't working on, our resident weatherman, the Ted Smith, would not stand for the cliffhanger that was the 1 in 250-year weather event happening over in the UK. And I, your most reliable news reporter, decided to dig a little deeper into a headline that I wasn't working on. Ted, have you ever heard of a sudden stratospheric warning event?
Oh, yeah. I think generally they get like 2 of them a year.
Correct. It's an event which polar stratospheric temperatures rise over the course of a few days, generally leading to cold snaps on the surface level. Kind of sucks all the warm air up and out of the ground, right? These events have been known in the past to strike once, sometimes twice per winter season, depending on the length of the season. But this once in 250-year phenomenon is that they're looking at a third for this year. Yep.
So it's a 1 out of every 250-year phenomenon if it happens a third time.
Correct.
But see, that's not exciting to me.
Correct.
It'd be different if it's like a tornado or a hurricane, but you're like, hey, guys, you know this thing that you're kind of used to? You go, yeah, it's going to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's got to be a snowstorm. Yeah, people on Twitter were pretty quick. Like, here you go, man. I was like, I don't know if Mike's actually going to tell me.
I got you, man.
Yeah,
I say I'm going to do it, I do it, Ted.
I kind of was happy, though. I was like, all right, so it is, like, because snow's just so rare.
Sure.
Over there. So I was like, it's got to be something with cold and
just
winter.
sucking all the heat out of the room in there. So that is just going to, they're in for it. It's going to get cold over there again.
Yeah, and I think the same way that if you had like, I don't know, there's a lot of hurricanes, but I think if you had like 3 or 4 hurricanes hit, like, let's say Jacksonville in one season, you'd be like, all right, this is a catastrophic.
This is a problem. Now we head on down to California where the unstoppable has been stopped. Tesla's new Cybertruck boasts a near indestructible conviction, demonstrating an ability to safely absorb machine gun fire, extraterrestrial terrain, and even the apocalypse. I don't know how they figured that out.
Where do you live that you need this?
I don't know.
California.
In your own mind.
But it may not need quite that much to be outdone. A rare owner of the vehicle, because I don't think it's really out
It's
yet.
just ugly, too, man.
No
It's
kidding,
not a good-looking ride.
Anyway, they recently been helped out of a precarious situation after witnesses found the truck driving on a local beach in California where it wasn't supposed to be in the first place. The driver took the truck out onto the beach and promptly got stuck in the sand. Crews were able to free the truck and they cited the driver.
So it can do all this.
Yeah.
But it can't drive through sand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sand.
I don't know, man. When I think apocalypse, I go road warrior. Like, if you can't drive through the sand, homie,
No kidding,
you're
dude.
dead.
Mad
For whatever
Max.
reason, right? For whatever reason, what happens in the nuclear holocaust?
Things get
turns,
dry.
Right, everything just turns to a desert.
Real dry. Real dry.
Real dry. And then you're screwed because you're in the Tesla Cybertruck.
Withstanding machine gun fire, you just can't move anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe that's what cars are going to look like. That thing just looks weird to me.
It does.
It looks like the car of the future if you asked a child to draw the car of the future. Right? So
You did.
And I think Teslas look cool.
they do, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Right, I like them. But
That's not one of them.
more so, it's like when Back to the Future went to the future, they went to 2015 and everything just looked all sci-fi and crazy. No, we don't do that.
That's just not how it's going.
Right. They misunderstood that people still want things to look coolish.
Right.
Look at his hat, it changes colors.
It only looks future-y if no one else has it, but even in the future, it'd be like, that looks stupid.
Back in the day, we called that a Pontiac Aztec, yes.
Not an Aztec, Miles.
Yeah, Aztec.
Miles is hungry.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the name of that.
First
ugly
edible
Pontiac
Aztec.
SUV
That thing was
van
so
looking
ugly.
Featured in Breaking Bad.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was. That was Walter White's car.
Yeah,
It was the Pontiac
He
Aztec.
rode that thing into the ground.
We had a
green, nasty damn
a
thing.
station vehicle when I was working for the Ravens. The station vehicle, not only was it that, but then they painted it purple. They have the logo and all this kind of thing, and it looks stupid, right? It's just an ugly car.
Sure.
But we brought more notice to it, and me and my buddy always had to drive that thing to and fro, and we were like, we really don't. Our boss, Bob Phillips, our guys, here's the keys. Take it back to the station. We're like, the Aztec? Yeah, what's wrong with that, man? The Pontiac dealer, they gave it to us. I said, bro, do you know how embarrassing that car is? So my buddy Ben drove, and I just sunk down in the seat. Like, we didn't want to be seen
in this damn thing.
We didn't.
Now, when I was on the street team, we always wanted to do a Wolf event because they actually had the big Chevy truck.
Yeah, man.
They used to be the rock truck, right?
We used to have
They did.
a Metallica truck.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
So their truck was ours.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we moved over to a doggone Chevy Colorado. That POS, I don't know what happened to it. But the worst was like the end events because they had the Honda Elements. And those things, I felt like that doggone thing was going to break underneath my feet.
You like the Colorado?
The Colorados break down is the problem.
They do. They're not very good.
They were not well developed.
We ended up with I think we took our car in, but anyway, the loaner was a Colorado.
Colorado's pickup truck.
And when I saw, and I was like, all right.
They give you a pickup truck?
Yeah, and it sucked. Yeah, we really did not enjoy it.
Thanks.
Terrible story out of the Pacific waters. A family has gone to the media following a bad optic situation for a cruise company. On a 100-day trip around the world, one elderly passenger unfortunately fell ill on the ship and was forced to disembark with her family in Guatemala to seek medical attention, sadly passing from her condition. She did not make it out. Her family made the proper arrangements at the time and agreed to fly to their ship's next destination, I believe it was in Hawaii, to get back on board, as they had already spent a good deal of money. They spent like $66,000 just for these seats, right? It's costing them a lot of money. Unfortunately, upon connecting with the ship, they found that they had already given away their past passengers' room by the time the family got back.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but that is bad optics.
Right, clearing her belongings and running them over to the other cabin. When they talked with cruise employees, they were given the runaround that it's company policy to offer all rooms that are not being used for sale, that they can be, they are vacant and can be rented.
Do they have to tell you that? Like, hey, we do have a vacancy. We know you want to join us on the cruise. Good news for you. Somebody died in here.
Oh, no, she didn't die in there. She fell ill in there. They took her off the boat to go to the hospital.
Okay.
And then she died at the hospital. But
yeah, I'd be creeped.
I
don't know.
Look,
I mean, every time you stay in a hotel room, you're rolling the dice. Has somebody died in here?
Yeah, no kidding.
Which sounds morbid. I'm just.
There's some hotels.
Somebody might
how
die
many people have survived in here?
Oh.
Like, I know there have been some dead people in this room.
Clearly those bugs did. And just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
Down in Florida, a dog in peril has a new forever home. The dog was spotted with a box stuck over its head and managed to elude rescuers for several months. Ted. But they finally were able to subdue the animal long enough. They were able to subdue the animal long enough to get the box off of his head, and he took off after being freed. Authorities were then able to trap the dog following the rescue, and he was brought to a local shelter and eventually in the capable hands of an animal advocate that worked closely with the shelter. Also in good news, the Men's Room IPA is available at Pint Defiance in Tacoma, as per our friend Emily, as well as Mandalay Deli Mart in Tukwila, thanks to Alex, and the Star Store on South Whidbey Island, thanks to our friend Mark for giving us all that information. And now, Men's Room Sports. You got NBA and college hoops on the ESPN channel, CBS Sports, and FS1. The Kraken are back in action, hosting the Winnipeg Jets tonight over on Root Sports. Puck drops at 7 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. Tomorrow, there's a ton of college hoops over on the network channels, ESPN and CBS Sports and FS1, as well as some hockey over on ABC. And your Seattle Sounders are back in action. They're in Philadelphia taking on the Union, and that's for you Apple TV subscribers at 4:30 in the afternoon. Wrapping up the sports weekend on Sunday, the local teams are taking a break, but there's NBA, NHL.
Yes, they already couged it.
Thank you, Ted. NBA, NHL, and college hoops on the ESPN and network channels. As far as your weather, sunny weeks meet rainy weekends here in the Pacific Northwest. The rain is due to pick up tonight into tomorrow, and the faucet's going to be on all weekend long with temperatures sitting right around 50 degrees. Also, don't forget, time to set those clocks on your ovens and microwaves forward 1 hour on Saturday night. And that is it for your headlines. With that, we're out of the darkness. My God,
enjoy the weekend, Mitchell. Hope you get a chance to try Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewing. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops. When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.